Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Boxingvoice.com. We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
You don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
Boxingvoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
What up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, fresh off the Ruiz, Arreola pay-per-view. Derek Chisora and Joseph Parker, even Katie Taylor, Natasha Jonas. So much boxing this weekend. Shout out to Craig Richards and even Dimitri Bivol. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with another one. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. This is the Boxing Voice Radio. Don't forget to use the hashtag TBV Podcast wherever hashtags are used as we are talking boxing. Yo, so it's funny, man. We definitely seen the Canelo influence in Andy Ruiz. Even the combination that they were practicing on that episode where it was overhand right, left hook. Ruiz definitely did that in the fight. But Ruiz survives a knockdown and wins a decision. I've been given some damn good, pretty damn good betting advice. I told you guys Ruiz would go the decision. We spoke about how tough Arreola is and, Wilder not even being able to knock him out and instead getting a stoppage, like by the corner or something. Arreola's a tough SOB. And, he showed that. He put Ruiz down and maybe he made us all, and I say us because I am definitely included in, the slowing down on Andy. Especially when PBC is already thrusting him in a potential fight with, one Deontay Wilder. And to me, I just don't think that is the right route to take at the moment. I think give Ruiz more time to work on some more things with a guy like Eddie Reynoso before you start putting him in there with a guy like Deontay Wilder, whose forte, his specialty, what he does well is throw the right hand, and that right hand is what put Ruiz down. But this is PBC's official Instagram on Fox, PBC on Fox. As you can see, I'm screen sharing right here. If you're watching us on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, as obviously we are on YouTube. And yeah, man, but as you can see here, it says Wilder versus Ruiz with the question mark and double tap if you want it. 14,000 people double tapped. And we have a few comments to look over, but this is what the brass at PBC are insinuating, even though one Luis Ortiz was in the audience. Mario Munguia, Corpus Christi, Texas. What's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm good. I had a fun time watching the pay-per-view last night. It was a good card, good all-around boxing, but last night card was fun. It was fun, and for all the people that wondered if they'd get their money's worth, I think the main event was good enough that you feel pretty good about it. Look, bottom line, the fight shouldn't have been on pay-per-view to begin with. We know that. That said, it was. You either supported it or you didn't. If you did support it, you were rewarded with a good fight. I think it's as simple as that. But we saw a lot of different things in the fight. I think that you could also make a case that Andy looked good, not just from the Canelo Reynoso influences, which were obvious, but also from the way that he adjusted, the way that he kind of calmed down. I think that he got hit early in the second, then he had a really bad third round, and he started trying to headhunt a little bit. And the fight was going in Arreola's momentum, but then he had the frame of mind to calm it down, get his bearings. He knew that even though all the Mexicans were watching, even though this was going to be this kind of fight, he knew he needed to change gears, and he did that successfully. I will say that part of this, and Ness had said, Arreola's a tough guy, which he is, which he showed, by having a shoulder injury and continuing to fight. That said, he fought a much safer fight than ever before. I think Joe Goosen needs a ton of credit as well for what we saw in Arreola. So a lot to go over, a lot of different things, but ultimately I think Andy showed a positive sign, positive enough to thrust straight into a Wilder fight. I don't know about that at all.
Absolutely not. What you must do is continue to build. Arreola's a common opponent with Wilder. Luis Ortiz is a common opponent with Wilder. If Eddie Reynoso feels like maybe Luis Ortiz and switching from orthodox to southpaw right now, while just working with Andy is not the right thing, then maybe Luis Ortiz is the wrong option, and you go Trevor Bryan. Why Trevor Bryan? Well, this fight was announced as a WBA eliminator. That's right. A guy off a loss and a guy off a retirement. We're in a WBA eliminator. It is up to you to no longer recognize and respect the WBA. And if you do, then you don't mind this. And Andy has been placed in an eliminator, and now he could possibly get a shot at either Trevor Bryan, who's the regular WBA champ, or Anthony Joshua, who is the super WBA champ. And the reason I only even mention AJ is because of the marketability of Andy Ruiz. Maybe AJ offers him a shot, but everyone knows that as the super champion in the WBA, you have no mandatories unless they want you to have a mandatory.
Yeah, that's works.
So
yeah, weird.
I mean, I like the Luis Ortiz Andy Ruiz fight first. Plus, that allows Wilder to get a fight. We haven't seen Wilder. We don't know what his rust looks like. Yes, we know that he has a dangerous right hand, and that's what put Ruiz down on one knee yesterday. But I still want to see Wilder get a tune-up, comeback, something before doing anything, I guess, unless it's automatically Fury. But Ruiz, Ortiz, what say you?
Yeah, I like that fight. I like Ruiz Ortiz. I think that it's a marketable fight. It builds into a Wilder fight even more if he were to get it done. And if he weren't, we had always talked about whether or not Luis Ortiz could conceivably get himself a third fight one day. This would be the road to it. This would be the road. I don't know if it does happen, but if it does, it's off the back of something like this. So definitely, a fight that I would want to see, and kind of the same dynamics going into it after we saw what Arreola was able to do. Despite the fact that, he didn't close the show or anything, he still put him down. He was still dangerous. There's still question marks that Andy needs to answer for.
Yo.
We hear you.
Legendary baby in the house.
Legendary baby in the flesh. Yo, I saw the fight too, right? By the way.
Did you?
Yes, I did. And I think it was worth the $49.99.
Call it more like 56 and some change with the taxes is what I paid.
I mean, that's fine, whatever, $56. But I say that it was a hell of a boxing day yesterday with the Dazn card, and then followed by the Fox Sports that then turned into pay-per-view. I was surprised. I was one of those people, maybe I was the only person who thought that Arreola was going to get washed. And it didn't, and it started the way where he controlled the entire fight almost. In my eyes,
entire.
No. I was gonna say I didn't see him win, right? But he sure proved that Andy in the Reynoso camp I think he peaked out after his AJ win. Ooh. I don't think Andy will beat Wilder. Ooh. I don't think
that was saucy.
Yeah, I think his toughest opponent and his biggest fight, and that's good. That I could give him a chance is with Luis Ortiz. He kind of fell, and not in a disrespectful way, right? He kind of fell under the whole Chisora Parker style to me of heavyweights.
What you mean? Elaborate.
What you mean?
Man, they was just banging it out. That's it. It was just bangs.
I think that I watched both fights, and I think that Parker obviously showed the skill in the Chisora fight. You know, I think. And even Arreola, man, he had the high guard.
Showed skills, yes.
Arreola,
he had the high guard. He was backstepping. He was jabbing. He was landing his right hand whenever he did have the success. I think the Chisora is the only one that showed the Chisora style. I don't think that this fight landed under that. Yeah, it landed under, you punch, I punch with you, so it could look sloppy, but we're both trying to execute. What I did see is Andy needs more tools in his tool bag.
More tools. Yeah. And what I also did see is that Eddie Reynoso could only help so much. You know what I mean?
What you mean? Elaborate.
Because Canelo looks phenomenal. And just because Canelo's there, yeah, you get inspired, you get motivated, you work harder. But your opponent is going to bring you the truth, And I don't think that he bit down enough to try to, really look phenomenal yesterday.
Hold that thought. It was 2 years out, but let me get to some of these super chats. I just want to keep everybody in the loop and obviously appreciative of the engagement. Ken Stone says Usyk schools Andy and Joseph Parker. I mean, if running around the ring is school, that's what Joseph did. So I don't know that he'll school Joseph because they're both doing the same shit, Yeah, run around the ring counterclockwise, popping the jab.
I think Usyk could beat both of them, but
know about Usyk.
I don't know if it would be a schooling.
Or a good fight.
Yeah, it might not look pretty either. Super Mex with the super chat says, "I will gladly eat my crow. Arreola made me proud." Shout out to Super Mex for taking that crow like a man. He picked Arreola. Arreola didn't win.
That's just the hatred in Mex.
You almost look like a genius.
That's just the hatred in Mex, because look, this is the best version we've had of Arreola. He came in at 228. He had no love handles. He kept a high guard. He had discipline. Like everything you can ask from a fighter, he actually did it all on one night.
Word.
And it still wasn't enough. So you, my friend, are just a fucking hater because you didn't see that. You know what I mean? And casual, you are just a casual. You expected an Andy Ruiz AJ fight. I literally told y'all, AJ's probably the only dude my man's knocked out. Like, why we keep thinking he's got power? Plus, Arreola's a tough SOB. We seen what happened with Wilder. We know that this dude doesn't get knocked out. Like, I told y'all decision. Decision.
I wasn't thinking decision. I wanted to say one more thing because you mentioned Arreola's physique. Arreola looked good. When he was in the back and he was slim with a t-shirt on, I was like, damn, he slimmed up.
Yeah.
And I started feeling like
228, man.
Yeah, he was the lowest he'd been.
I started feeling like he was too light. I was like, damn, he's gonna get put on his ass because of his lightness. And
he the one put somebody on their
ass. Rest of the super chats, let me get them real quick. What Repit says, Arreola team tricked Andy Ruiz leading up to fight. Arreola came with the counterattack game plan. Andy and Reynoso adjusted. Great fight. And that's what I was trying to say earlier too. It was like Arreola came in and part of his success was the fact that he was fighting differently, strategically. He looked different. He fought different. But then that was also what held him back, because at moments when he should have been more aggressive or could have been more aggressive, he was kind of in this mode where he was safe and not getting hurt or touched up, but he also wasn't putting himself in a position to actually win rounds. So let me see. The last one coming in from Cass. Yeah, Cass says, Cass with a $10 super chat says, Ruiz, White, Ortiz, Chisora, Parker, Arreola, Takam, Povetkin, Hunter, all on the same level. Only one heavyweight in the top 3 has lost to any of them, but people think he is actually the best. I don't know, emoji. No. Yeah,
I think it's too early to put Ruiz in the same level as Chisora and Parker. Even though I get him, he has a completely logical argument. You know, Parker beat Ruiz, and he just beat Chisora. And, you know, so I get it. But I still see that Ruiz's ceiling is higher. Gentlemen, this is still Andy coming off of how many months off? 2 years? How long has it been? It was December of the same year. It happened in June, then it happened in December of 19, brothers.
Yeah, it was 2019. You're right, December 7th, 2019.
He achieved greatness.
It was a year and a half.
He achieved greatness, so we want to see it again, and we want to see it every time out, but that's not how it happens. When he achieved greatness, guess what, Enrique? When he achieved greatness, it was coming off of a quick turnaround. So now he got Arreola. Let's go into Ruiz. Let's strike while the iron's hot, and we will probably see a better Andy. And then we could go ahead and assess and say, you know what? Nah, Andy's on this level, Andy's on that level. I seen skill, I seen speed. What I want is different style combinations. Like, he does the same 1, 2, 3. You know, he did add the overhand right and the big uppercut, but these are all shots that take a lot of power from him. I did love the stab jab to the body. He was jabbing to the body. He was shooting the right hand to the body. I think it's just Russ. Timing. It's been 2 years. Let him get a couple more fights. Let those wheels and that grease start to, you know, kind of marinate in those joints so that he can work and flow better with this movement. But I did see a lot of improvement. You know, I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more.
I know,
but
that sounds great what you just said. But then when was Arreola's last fight? Because he came off of retirement, and the guy that comes out of retirement that makes the guy that beat the champ and became instantly unified look like trash. He also made me start judging AJ.
Well, this is boxing.
I know, and I think Fury's out there laughing like, yeah, give me Ruiz too. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to chew him up. Of course. As a boxing fan, I'm just saying, Ruiz did look good. He just did not look special. Arreola was supposed to get beat up by Andy Ruiz. Beat up at least.
But who beats up Arreola? That's what I'm saying.
AJ beat Arreola up.
AJ ain't never fought Arreola.
Everybody that beats Arreola beats him up.
I mean,
Arreola came out of retirement, man.
No, you could only say that the Vlads did that. If anything, maybe Thomas Adamek, he outboxed the fuck out of Arreola. You know, well, I mean,
yo, Arreola's somewhere right now saying, yo, if that's the heavyweight state, I want part of it. I
mean, he shouldn't have to retire. Like, there's plenty of people at 40. He showed at 40 he still got hella shit to give. Like,
I mean, if anything, it should be unfortunate. And listen, I love Henry. I do. I've always thought he was a good. What I was gonna say is what's unfortunate, or what should be looked at as unfortunate, is how much time he's been with Henry, and he's just put himself in a position where he's physically able to do what he's able to do. He's gotten down to this weight. Like, he's put himself in a situation where he's the best athletic version of himself. Like, and it took all this time. And unfortunately, I think he should have, you know, left Henry or you know, at least brought in somebody else a while back. And now he's doing that with Joe Goosen. I think he looks better.
Nah, man, this is the second time bringing in Goosen. It's not the first, you know. And shout out to him for always keeping Henry there and not getting rid of him and just bringing in an extra look. And Henry can still eat and feed his family. We got another super chat after Kaz. I think it's Kaz.
I always thought it was Kaz.
I say Kaz. I saw the one with.
It's Supermax who says, who didn't see that? I've been picking Arreola. What you mean didn't see what? And picking what? You picked the dude that lost, champ. You picked the dude that lost. No matter. Yeah. Like, yo, at the end of the day, he lost the first. He won the second big, and then he won the third.
Yeah,
After that, it gets hard to find a round for Arreola. Like, you know what I'm saying? All we doing is celebrating that he has looked better than he has in the past. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good leadway into, one of the next points is Arreola came on the mic and he told the judges to, S is D, Dr. Dre style, which I still don't understand what reference that was. And he was really mad about the scorecards. What did y'all think? Did he?
Of course he should be mad. Like, how the hell did he get a 116 scorecard when he got a knockdown? I don't even understand those math.
Well, the two scorecards were 118, 109 twice, which would be 10 rounds to 2. And then the other scorecard was 117, 110, which would be 9 rounds to 3. So he got the extra point from the knockdown, did Arreola. But yeah, so that means that he won 2 rounds on 2 judges' scorecards and 3 rounds on another, and he seemed really upset. I feel like
that's about right.
3 to 4 rounds, I should have said. Nah. That's like the max. I feel like 4 is like the max you could probably find him.
4 is the max. Squinting your eye, turning your head sideways, using a lupa.
You lost your glasses.
Hey, Enrique, how you say lupa in Spanish, in English? Yo, you crazy, man. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. He won 2 to 3
I'm gonna rewatch that fight because I might have been persuaded by, I don't know, the excitement that he brought.
Sure. Bruh, my man won 2 to 3 rounds, okay?
I was persuaded by it too, looking at it and then judging it a certain way, like, yo, Arreola's not getting slapped around in this fight. He's doing better. Like, no, it's not that he's doing good. It's that he wasn't doing as bad. But, I still give credit to Supermex to a degree because I didn't have Arreola putting up any sort of fight in there. I really didn't think he was going to be.
Why? You're not even Enrique casual fan church. Like, how the hell are you going to act? How you gonna act like somebody's just gonna walk through? I never thought he was gonna get knocked
down, and I don't think you thought he was gonna get knocked down either, champ.
No, I didn't. I didn't think he was gonna get knocked down, but I never thought that Arreola would beat Andy, bro. Like,
all right, that's fine and all dandy, but to me, I thought that they put Arreola there for Andy Ruiz to showcase everything, and to look phenomenal. And he did not. So he failed on that. I give him an F for that.
But that's also matchmaking. See, when you saying, yo, I'm picking Andy by knockout, and here I am telling you, bruh, this dude don't get knocked out. That was the matchmaking. What they was expecting from Andy. They believed the hype. The same shit I told you, like, who the fuck is Andy knocked out? They thought, well, you knocked out AJ. You should be able to knock out Arreola. No. Not Arreola. Arreola is there's some dudes, dog, they dogs, like Margarito. Like, you just knew Margarito was a dog. When Mosley did that shit to Margarito, man, that shit was amazing. The way it went down too, he was putting his whole fucking body into them right hands, man.
Did AJ ever get knocked down?
AJ, hell yeah, he got knocked down by Ruiz.
Before Ruiz.
Dillian White, I think, put him down, no? Or am I wrong? Or hurt him?
I think he was chinny before him.
Dillian White hurt him, and he had rumors, but it don't matter. I mean, look, yo, you could get up and win. That's all that matters. It's heavyweight boxing. You gonna get put down.
Get up. All right.
Steve Munoz says a lot of people were down on Valdez after the first 2 fights. Be patient. Andy has elite hand speed, which you can't teach. Molina hurt Wilder too. That's fucking right.
That's true. Good point. Let's see. The next one from What Rep It said, post-fight interview, Arreola said Andy beats Wilder.
Woo!
Yeah, I saw that on my timeline on Twitter.
Of course he gonna say that, man. La raza. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's how they do.
People were saying that they wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. A lot of people were saying that on Twitter. So it might be a thing where Arreola's just trying to, keep that fight as hot as it could be.
Bruh.
Keeping Andy's name higher. What do you think about that?
I don't
think
want a
rematch
rematch. I don't want a rematch.
No?
Let
But you just said
Arreola.
that you don't want him to go into that.
Let Arreola go fight Travis, who owes him a rematch. Right? They owe each other a rematch. Let him fight Travis Kaufman. I know Kaufman called retirement, but this is the perfect fight to come back out. Let Andy go fight Luis Ortiz. Yes, he got the tougher route, but that's because you were the former unified champ.
Yep.
If Arreola wins and everyone else above Luis Ortiz is busy after Andy can possibly beat him, then we'll talk about Arreola. But we don't need that. We did that.
Yeah.
We gone. And that's an excellent point by Steve Munoz. I mean, thank you so much, because I didn't even think of that. That's a fantastic point, and it's like a weight lifted off me. I feel like, yes, I can look forward to that. He's right. I was looking at Valdez as food, and then he stepped up on an underdog fight. He was literally the underdog, and he knocked out Burchell. So, you know, it's true. Let's be patient. Let's give Andy time to work with Reynoso. You know, now they see some stuff that they need to work on. You know what I mean? Andy, listen, Andy put his head down too, Mario, same way you did, and he allowed that right hand to be there. Plus, it was high on the head, so it could be
like
an equilibrium
the back
shot.
of the neck, kind of like
just like the
jaw,
Joseph Parker one, like the Joseph Parker one. But Chisora is you know, Chisora. People let him get away with so much. You know, he pulls these diva tactics and he cheats like crazy, and we all, War Chisora, we just let him get it off. He could have hurt Parker. People forget because Pritchard Colon didn't get to be a superstar, but I know Pritchard personally, so I will never forget it. And when I see someone punching behind the head that much, he hit Parker behind the back so much in the first 3 rounds that the fight should have been disqualified. Like, he's a fucking cheater, and it's ridiculous that he doesn't get no hatred at all. Like, he's a fucking cheater. He's a straight up cheater. All his fights look this way, and he's a cheater, and it's not right, man. It's crazy. That being said, I see a lot of people talking about, he should have won. Glad he got robbed for all the fucking cheating then. And I don't think he got robbed, first of all. Parker was out jabbing the shit out of the shit. Looked like the Ruiz fight to me, except he added massive hooks.
We moving on to that card right now?
No?
Okay.
I mean,
well, real quick, let me finish off the super chat. Show Kid 2005. I know that guy. He said, enjoyed the card. Would have been better if my TBV fam did the live fight chat. I checked YouTube 50 times for y'all. And then he's got 5 crying out loud emojis.
Yo, man, listen, I'm not a boat dude. My brother took me out on his boat, bro. That shit took
sun wears you down, right?
Shit took the life out of me, man. And I lived like an hour from him, and the dock was like 30 minutes from there. And man, listen, I was done. And I'm telling you, I ain't even get to the part where Fox robbed me for my pay-per-view. I got my receipt, which I told you it was $56.87.
Yeah.
But I'll never buy it digitally again, and instead buy it like via cable so that I can have it, because
DVR
it's gone. Like, how is that gone? Like, when I bought my Huey Fury pay-per-view, it's still there to this day. It's there. When I buy any pay-per-view, it's there on my purchases. Like, how do you buy something and don't have the right for playback? So I am seeking a refund immediately from Fox pay-per-view. They are thieves.
I did enjoy the pay-per-view. You know, there were a lot of people last night saying that it was pandering, and that, you know, there was like some people saying some negative stuff. I think it was because some people seem to have a problem with PBC putting on this kind of fight card, which to me is ridiculous. To me is just, it's stupid. Like, at the end of the day, if you're in the boxing business, then you know that if you have 2 Mexicans fighting on or around the May 5th date, you know, you can do something. You know, you can pull some numbers. So who wouldn't try? Like, if you got it, why not? This was the fight to do it, and guess what? People enjoyed it.
Mario, does Hot 97, the radio station, do they not throw Summer Jam in the summer? Like,
exactly.
The fuck is it? Like, people so stupid. You know what I'm saying? If we had a day that we could be around and consistently do an event. Why wouldn't we?
Why wouldn't we? And especially if you have the two guys to do it,
But forget about boxing. You're telling me that the entire sales world doesn't do that. So there's not Memorial Day sales.
Back to school sales.
Back to school.
Memorial
President's Day sales. I just want to sell you shit this week sales, man. Shut up. What are you guys talking about? Pandering.
Crazy,
of course it's pandering. Of course they're gonna pander to one of the hugest markets in boxing.
But it's not pandering. It's not pandering when another promotion does it, And by the way, you saw, they had Canelo commercials throughout, you know what I mean? So
my God, I couldn't
Canelo
believe how smart DAZN
had no
was.
problem doing commercials on that.
DAZN was very smart, and that's not the first time I see it. This is the second back-to-back PBC show that they invest on the Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight via commercials on a live PBC show. I love that they are doing that. I mean, just credit to them, man. Credit to DAZN. I'm really rooting for them. I hope that they could bring in a few more faces over there and give us a great schedule.
Definitely.
We got
new super chat. Oh,
Supermax
okay, I got it. Joseph Supermax Rodriguez with the super chat that says, "What y'all think of the crowd brawls? Was wild, yo. I was following that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I know you crashed out, so you might not have seen it, but did you get to see it? You saw it? Yo, shout out to Lily from Twitter. Lily Ho Saunders was there, and she was sharing all the footage she was getting, and it was like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
They was really having a Royal Rumble outside the ring. And the crazy thing, it was I've seen a lot of fights break out like that, when the fights are boring. When the fights were exciting, and dudes in Carson were still getting down.
But
and
it's
talking
two different.
7.
It's two different cliques, bro. It's South Side and North Side, right? It's North
That's
Cal,
exactly
South
what they
Cal.
said it was. They said that people from San Diego and LA, they were getting into the building and booing each other, and
That's like I don't know. I don't watch other sports, but I would assume since they made that movie about the Eagles fan, maybe the Eagles versus the Jets play and fights break out. You know what I'm saying? That's part of sports. I'm just.
I think though they were
I'm
saying
actually
that people
happy.
Cooped up too much. People were cooped up over this time, and now they came back to boxing fights, and people just might have a little more enthusiasm than normal.
No. Come on, man.
You don't think even a little bit that could be it?
Brona brought out fucking Young Thug to the city. That shit was 30,000 people, and they still punched Young Thug in the face. Hell no, man. No pandemic. Dudes just don't know how to act sometimes, man.
Squabble.
Shit
Yeah,
just
it was
happens.
crazy though, for real.
Yeah, nah, man.
It was all on the pay-per-view.
I mean, listen. I think that Andy, all news is good news. Edgar Berlanga didn't get the knockout, and he's still just as hot as he was that he did if he would have gotten it, because everybody's talking about how he didn't get it. Everybody's saying how he got exposed. So they still talking about him. Same thing with Andy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Enrique, he should have knocked him out, but he didn't. When you go back on the set and Tracy Morgan asks you yo, you watched? Yeah, I watched it, but you gonna talk about it, and they gonna keep talking about it. That's why so many people watching right now, because he's still a player, and he won. It's just like that phrase. He did enough to fight another day, and we still have that what if, because he didn't show that he can't do what he did to AJ again until
boxing,
he
right?
proves
what
that.
If?
Yeah, what if? That's what.
And that's boxing. What if, right? So I was thinking, Andy Ruiz would probably beat Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, yeah.
Styles make fights though.
Yeah, Styles do make fights, and he moved like Mike Tyson and beat AJ. Fury moves.
And Wilder, does Wilder, have the, speed to match Andy's speed? Can Wilder take combination punching? Fury was hitting him with ones and twos. Andy is 1, 2, 3. He's 2-3 too. That he's using that overhand right and the uppercut. Uppercut gonna land harder on a taller dude, because the shorter dude's already on the inside. Everything Andy does is a recipe for disaster for Wilder. But Wilder, what Wilder does naturally, obviously Arreola showed us that is Andy's kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? The right hand put him smooth down. He stays too low. That whole lateral Mike Tyson movement, Wilder could time that and pick him off, because it's like I said, he need more tools in the tool basket. He kept doing the same shit. It was the 1-2-3 over and over, or the 2-3. And it's like, when you get done with that, what else you doing? Then he finally started to mix in the jabs to the body and the right hand to the body, but he need to mix it up a little bit more. Damn.
Yeah, I agree. Super chat from What Rep It said, and Andy added 150,000 Instagram followers since fight. Yo, and that's the other part about it. Number. You know, Enrique gave Andy his grade, and you know, Ness kind of gave his grade of you know, the performance. And this whole time, y'all have been chopping down what we saw of Andy and where it, like, what inclinations it gives us to where he exists in the heavyweight division. But for a second, like, I'll just grade the event. Like, that was like a B+A event. Like,
that was an amazing event.
It was great. And that's the part to me that we have to really mention, because I know a lot of people that bought that pay-per-view last night that, you know, they don't watch boxing a whole lot. They remembered Andy Ruiz's name. They kind of remembered Chris Arreola's name. And they were more than satisfied. And that's the part, like, once you buy a pay-per-view, that person has to keep impressing you.
Yeah.
You know, for you to want to keep buying pay-per-views. I remember Mike Tyson when he was laying dudes out in the first round. I'll never forget, after the third or fourth time it happened, my dad turning around and saying, this is the last Tyson fight I'd buy on pay-per-view, because he was just taking them out. You know, one by one, it was super easy. And so it resonates what these people do when they get the big stage and you have to pay for them on pay-per-view. You remember their performances just that much more. And the fact that a lot of people left excited after paying for his pay-per-view, I think is going to resonate positively.
Yeah, I was a little harsh on the grade because I was expecting the best Andy Ruiz ever. Like, I wanted him to be able to call names out.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even that, man. It was like, yeah, he's a warrior.
But Enrique, can you admit that maybe that was a bit of a reach for you? If now thinking about it, Dan, he did come off a 2 years layoff. He did come off of being 310 pounds. He did come off of depression from losing the biggest fight of his life. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much that he had to come back from.
Yeah, but
then add in that he had to switch the trainers. Like, you think just because he got with a good trainer, it means it's a good thing. No, he still got to switch and adapt and get used to.
I get that.
It's a process,
I totally
fellas.
understand.
It's a process.
You said 2 years, right? It was 2 years.
2 years out the ring.
But
1 year. 1 year in depression, though. 1 year just chilling, doing nothing before he got with Reynoso.
Arreola was doing nothing, chilling, feet up on the beach, probably eating anything he can eat and everything he could drink.
And that's good. And that's why
so that's the bad part.
This is why you watch this sport over football. Because when football players retire, they can't come back and give it one last hurrah the way that fucking Arreola and George Foreman could they?
That sounds good. I was saying that I got a little harsh on the grade because I was my expectations, my own personal expectations. Like, I thought Arreola was there to make Andy Ruiz look great.
Nah, man. If they wanted, listen, they wanted to see.
Let him finish.
They wanted it because how you don't understand? They wanted to see where he at.
About Andy Ruiz, like you in his corner,
bruh. If they wanted a showcase, they would have put fucking Negron in there. If they wanted a showcase, man.
But that wouldn't make Andy look good. And
what?
They needed a pay-per-view.
If they wanted a knockout, they would have put Negron. Mexican versus Puerto Rican. What is you talking about? You barely see heavy. You barely see Puerto Rican heavy.
But go ahead.
All right, but that's you. But I'm telling you, they could still sell that for the next fight. You barely see Puerto Rican heavyweights, let alone Mexican heavyweights. Now we're gonna give you the fucking rivalry as a heavyweight. And guess what? Andy would knock out Negron. But when you're talking to Arreola, you can only think of Wilder that stopped him, bruh. Like,
or
Vlad, right? Wasn't it Vladimir Klitschko or one of the Klitschkos? Yeah. Like,
listen,
I think it was Vitaly. The tough Klitschko is the one that stopped. Oh, yeah, and Bermain. No, Bermain too, right? Did Bermain knock him out?
Twice. No,
Bermain
once
stopped Arreola.
He knocked him out once.
I think Bermain knocked him out.
Yeah, he stopped him once, for sure. I'm positive of that. The other one, I don't remember what happened.
Bam Bo, $4.99 super chat. First time I ever seen a man violently throw up blood in the corner. Who is he referencing? I don't know who he's talking about.
I don't know. He could be talking about Chisora because didn't it sound like Chisora was coughing and he had he had hella phlegm in that corner. Every single corner. He sound like my dogs. He sound like an English bulldog in
Yeah. It's so funny.
I'm like,
it's
damn.
It's so funny he just said that because we all covered that fight in Atlanta where I literally, that was the first time I'd ever seen a fighter stop the fight so that he could go, lose his entire breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the corner in a bucket.
In the bucket.
That was crazy. It was a TKO. It was a TKO of vomit. Like that's what it was.
Slim. It was slim.
Slim. Yeah, word.
Now name, but it was
okay. Roman with the super chat said nobody talking about when Andy let Arreola recuperate twice when he hit his arm.
When his shoulder.
And Arreola says he hits hard. Andy let Arreola recuperate twice. Yeah, I mean I get that's true. It's true. Yeah.
Yo, but y'all funny, man. Dudes out here like, oh, Andy exposed because he went a UD. Didn't he just go UD with AJ? Like, yo, this is like we tripping, man. Like we.
Yo,
tripping.
you have a good eye. You have a great eye for like what to expect the conversation to be about behind the scenes in the office about Andy Ruiz and other fighters because you do it a lot. Me, that's why I like to say I'm a fan. I ain't thinking the whole chess move and matchmaking afterwards, but I am the person that I believe is the only person that probably responds off the matchmaking what they was looking for. Like I bought it because I wanted to see Andy Ruiz beat Arreola up. He didn't even beat him up. I think Chisora got beat up, even though it went UD. He got beat up.
Nah, I hear you. I mean, Andy was selective, man. He ain't let a lot of enough shots go, and because he didn't give y'all typical Mexican, y'all not happy, man.
But he never does that typical Mexican. He's a lot of mover. When they showed
but that's what happened. See, it was supposed to be a different fight. The fight that you wanted, the matchmakers was expecting Arreola to come in as the same person, but he the one was backstepping. He the one was high guard and let me jab and take a step back and jab and take another step back. That was Arreola.
That's the point.
They
thought
good,
that
though.
They were going to see, the same fight we saw last night, but roles reversed. Andy, score that knockdown. And yes, Ness is right. We should have known that how durable Arreola was before, and we can be Monday morning quarterbacks now and say, well, yeah, it makes sense that they went the distance. But again, you have to look at the way the fight played out. Regardless of whether Andy should have or could have done whatever he did last night, he still got put down. He got put down early, and it's one of the things that people are going to remember about this fight as we move on. So, in a lot of ways, it could help his stock, being able to sell pay-per-views, being able to lure some guys in, to fights. But at the same time, people are going to be questioning him until he goes out there and puts out a performance, flawless victory style.
I'm curious about the numbers too. But
yeah, I'm curious,
me
man.
too,
I paid
definitely.
for my shit. I want him. I want him to do well.
Yo, they coming after people for real. Y'all see that?
Nah.
A lot of people got hemmed up for the last 3 weeks of pay-per-views. I'm seeing a lot of people
through
like,
Triller.
Yeah, Triller, and even their cable company and not cable company, their internet provider, they're hitting them up like, yo, you're I better not even say it. But yeah, people are getting in trouble.
I want to say
they need to start giving out IP addresses, man.
That's what they did.
Fight.
They've been doing that.
That's it.
During the fight, the event
Dudes
yesterday.
shouldn't be stealing at this day and age, man. Y'all grown ass men, man.
They had the interview with Mikey Garcia, Barrera, and Morales, right?
Yeah. I seen that.
And they were talking about Mexican style. We warriors. We come to fight. We ain't coming to move. You know what I'm saying? We coming to go head on. Shakur Stevenson was on Mike Tyson Hot Box. And it was a good episode, by the way. They were reviewing other fighters, right? Mm-hmm. And they were showing somebody, I don't want to say no name, but it was Oscar Valdez, right? And they were like, yeah, see, he's just coming forward. He ain't moving his head. It made me change my mind on how hard it would be of a fight for Shakur Stevenson, right? So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because Andy Ruiz, he's not Mexican style. I never thought of him as Mexican style. He's moving his head, and I thought that is why he beat AJ. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I gave him chance to beat anybody, even Wilder and Fury, because he moved. I didn't give him really Fury, but I was like, I think he'll beat AJ.
He still got the chance, though. He still got the chance. I mean, he didn't lose
Point
yesterday.
is, with all that he was doing, right? He still got touched up by a guy that was retired.
Yes. But that adds to the marketability. Why is Amir Khan, even in losing, still one of the biggest draws? Because we know he could get knocked out.
I think it's because of his popularity and fame.
All right. And what the fuck is Andy? Popular and got the fame, but now you think he could get knocked out. So when they do make the Wilder fight, you gonna buy it because you swear Wilder gonna knock him out.
Well, that's the point I was trying to make, was that he looks more vulnerable now, and he's gonna be able to get some of the guys that might not have given him a chance. But the fact that he looks vulnerable now, he might get them sooner than we thought.
And see, that's what I was trying to get to when I started. You are the dude in the conference room. Like, you think like conference rooms dudes, and I'm the dude on the streets, you know?
I hear you. I
bought it.
But that's what I'm saying. They still turned you into a 2-time pay-per-view buyer. You bought Ruiz expecting a knockout. Now you about to buy Wilder expecting a knockout.
I also would buy Luis Ortiz versus
Ruiz,
if that was to be called.
No, that's next, man. We want that next. All day, every day, twice on Sunday, the way Fury say, man. I want that fight. I don't think it's the right fight for Andy. Andy fighting a southpaw. Why? All they doing is bringing Ortiz back. This is giving Ortiz a bone. Why am I fighting a southpaw if I'm Andy? You know what I'm saying? If you want to build me into another pay-per-view star, let's see how these numbers come in, and then we talk, right? But assuming these numbers are decent, hey, man, we ain't going to find another Puerto Rican heavyweight out there, man. There's only one. They even had to talk about John Ruiz, man. They had to talk about. He was a 2-time WBA champ in the heavyweight division. John Ruiz was the only Puerto Rican dude. So again, Andy Negron, that's still a fight. I know y'all don't like it, but like Enrique said, I'm in the ballrooms, man. That's still a fight, man. You put another card like this, all Mexicans or Puerto Ricans, yo, is it top ranked? They only got the Puerto Ricans? Does PBC got any Puerto Ricans where they could do like more, Mexico versus Puerto Rico on a Negron Andy Ruiz pay-per-view main event?
Mixed.
Huh?
PBC's mixed.
I know, but do they got any Puerto Rican stars that you know of? Which,
Danny Garcia.
Matter of fact, this the perfect, Danny Garcia, that's one. Yo, perfect segue. I got my headphones back.
Yo, YouTube just dropped $10 on the super chat with nothing to say.
Nah, YouTube been showing mad love, man. I hope he could put us on the watch page and shit. Get us our numbers right. Listen, we just segued into the Puerto Rican realm of boxing, bro. And from the Puerto Rican news, Felix Verdejo was a person of interest. He already sat with the authorities in Puerto Rico, as it's been revealed that an alleged, and I'm using the words alleged mistress of his has possibly now been found dead in a lagoon, right, Mario? Like a lagoon?
She was in a lagoon. So her name is Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz.
Yo, you wild. I'm pretty sure it's not Keishla, whatever you said.
Well, how did you say it?
You made her sound Russian, man.
Keishla, no?
Ain't it
How
like
you say that?
Kelisha?
I don't know.
Kelisha? No, I don't know.
But
anyway, go ahead. Go on.
I thought you had it right there. Well, anyway, she was found on Saturday. She is believed. So here's the thing. I've been asking people because I seen on Twitter, people haven't really been.
Well, give the news first, bro.
Okay, so I'll give the news first. So, it was reported that this woman was missing. Felix Verdejo became a person of interest in the questioning. Now, what they believe is that this woman was murdered by 2 men, and her body was thrown into a lagoon. Reports suggest that one of the men who's involved is working with police. Felix Verdejo's electronics were confiscated by the authorities, and that was reported by Lance Pugmire, who said that they had seized all of his cell phone records and all of that stuff regarding the death
let me jump in here.
Rodriguez Ortiz.
So basically what's going on is, allegedly, is that Felix, who is a married man in Puerto Rico, had an affair with this woman who has now been found, and she was pregnant. And her parents... No, she was pregnant. Her parents...
she was pregnant.
I know that it came out for sure. Got it.
Yeah,
because the rumor was that she came to him with the pregnancy.
Well, the parents are saying
reveal to him.
The parents are saying there's quotes of the parents saying that that she was pregnant and he was trying to break up with her and shit. So
they said that he had threatened her. That's what the parents had said, that he had already threatened her about it. And
it's
again,
crazy,
it's
man.
a lot of stuff on
I know
Twitter,
Felix.
so it's like hard to keep what's.
I know Felix personally, and I've met him, and when he got in the game, he was with this guy like Ricky Martinez. It was mad Christian, bro, like super duper Christian.
Yeah,
and fucking,
I thought he was Christian too.
Exactly, yo, and Felix, and look, and don't get me wrong, bro. Every religion still does shit, but yo, Felix, wow, this news is crazy. I mean, now like he's already turned himself in with his lawyer for questioning. That was yesterday, and he didn't get arrested. So so far he's there. But if that's new information that you put out today, that they confiscated his electronics. Now that's another story. See, because people used to make motherfucking raps and phrases about the paper trail. It's no longer the paper trail, dog. It's that IP address now, man.
It's that cloud trail. It's that chemtrails. No,
it's actually your phone is connected to every IP address in areas, so it can show you even if you turn your locations off.
That's what I'm saying. Once they got your electronics, they on you. You better hope you ain't got nothing there. The electronics is over, man. So
bro.
So far, I'm sure it's like every CSI, SUV, or I probably said that wrong. My girl gonna be mad, but every of them shows you see, SVU, shows you see, you know what I mean? Like, they still suspect them, but they had to release them. They ain't have enough to convict them or indict them, rather. So they released them, but they still watching his ass. They probably told his ass, don't go nowhere.
I wonder if they took his passport.
I mean, he's still American,
Puerto
though.
Rico.
He's still
it was
American.
Actually, Carolina, Puerto Rico was the
Carolina,
Puerto Rico. And so, the thing is that from all reports suggest that she died like a really violent death. And, whoever is responsible for that, I mean, they're monsters.
Bro, let's put the pink elephant in the room. Like, so basically they alleging that this woman came up to him and was like, Papi, I'm pregnant. And he was like, hell no, get rid of that shit. And she was like, no, this is my first kid. Like, he's like, look, you knew I was married. She's like, nah.
Yeah, because he was married. Yeah, he's married.
So he got on the horn like, listen, man, I'm going, I can handle that for you. Like, that's a crazy ass movie. That's basically what they saying. That he got on the phone. He basically told somebody, or somebody told, because it could go very, very many ways in the movie, right? Like, did he sit down with his friend telling him like, yo, Kelisha, she's fucking pregnant, yo, she don't want to get rid of it, and his friend suggested some bad men that can handle it, or did he go straight to the bad men because he know, and like, it's so many angles to this motherfucking movie. And it's crazy, bro. Like, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You need to watch this movie.
Right now, he's being surveilled. Right now, we in the scene where he's being surveilled. Right now, they let him go. They let the rope loose just a little bit to see what he do. To see what he do.
See who he talks to.
Exactly. They on his ass. Whoop, cut the rope. Let's see what he do. All right, boom. Now he run. Now he's scrambling. People already in the chat saying they confiscated his Durango. I ain't even know that. I'm telling you, news is breaking on a second. That island is too small.
Well, I had heard that they were supposed to come down with the suspect ID by now. I thought we would have it before we came live. I was waiting and waiting. So far, it still hasn't dropped, but supposedly Puerto Rican officials suggest that they are going to release the ID of the suspect by today.
Yo,
what's
Enrique,
harder?
Since
What's
we on Puerto Rico, let's not forget we was just discussing the Puerto Rican news about the 2 kids that went to Puerto Rico to go buy weed in La Perla.
Yeah.
And they got peeled back. You know what I'm saying? Well, one of them did. You feel me? Puerto Rico is serious. I don't know how it is because it's part of America and it's this little ass island, but they be tripping out there in that little island.
Yeah,
so you
I
gotta
was
be
one time.
very careful.
I was out there once by Catalina on the highway going to like Old San Juan, and this car just zipped by, zoom, like real fast. Like he must have been doing 150. He was getting chased by another car, did the same thing, zoom, and then all of a sudden it was like bang, bang, like they was chasing somebody in a car, shooting, like not even care about police or anything like that. But I was gonna say, yo, what would you rather go through? This whole murder homicide investigation, double homicide, or like just tell your wife, yo, I got this girl pregnant?
Nah, but it's never like that. It's never like that. It's never like that. Listen, again, this could be another movie, another scene. You don't like that one? Here goes another one. Boom. So now he's talking to his friend. I'm telling you, Enrique, oh shit, fuck, Alicia's pregnant and shit. Now you just take it upon yourself to get it done. Like, yo,
right.
You don't even say like, yo, don't worry about that shit. Next thing you know, you wake up, you drinking coffee. Oh shit, you drop your coffee. Kalicia's found body. What you like? What the fuck? You call your
like
man.
Gone Girl style.
You call your man like, yo, what the fuck? He was like, yo, bruh, I've been rocking with you for since day one. I'm not gonna let her ruin your dream, bro. You still gonna be a world champ, my nigga. I can't have her. I can't have her fucking up your phone. Go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, but I didn't want that done, dog. I was just airing my shit out with you. Why you do it? You know what I'm saying? Now there's that one conversation, that connection with your best friend and shit. He made the call. Oh, I can see the movie, dog.
That's a good movie, but I would be like super shocked if that's ever actually happened in real life.
No, of course. I mean, listen.
You know what I'm saying? Like that would be. But that's a good ass movie.
I can see that happening, but
it's so many different scenarios, though. It's so many different scenarios right now with that, man. It's crazy. I mean, hopefully it's none for Verdejo because it puts Verdejo in a very bad situation.
They gonna tell Verdejo like this: somebody got to go to jail for this. That's what they say when they interrogate you.
I have forensic,
vibes,
man.
I have vibes
Forensics. He better hope there's some fucking, hair fibers, something, something from somebody else up on her that could clear him. But
I had vibes from what was his name? The one that they thought could beat Pacquiao. Damn, what was his name?
A lot of people they thought could be
the one that died though.
Who?
The one that died in prison.
Arturo?
Nah, the one.
My man from Colombia.
Pasa.
The one that beat DeMarco when DeMarco was undefeated. What's his name?
Yeah, the one that beat DeMarco. Yep, exactly.
Yo, so much hype on that dude. Y'all used to be loving that. You hipsters love that guy.
Yo,
what was like? It was like with a V, right?
It was kind of like Verdejo, but it wasn't.
Yo,
Verdejo.
you know what though?
Edwin Valero.
Hold on, before we move on, because that probably sounded really bad to the family. So apologies, condolences, obviously to the family. It was not meant to sound rude in any way. Just given scenarios. Unfortunately, this is a podcast. I don't know. We probably shouldn't have done it. So there's the apology, right? But you were bringing up Edwin Valero, which was another crazy one. I mean,
situation.
That one was
like,
crazy.
Whoa. Yeah.
Do you remember
and it all unfolded in the span. That's what it was.
Hold on. Let me say what I remember, which I know is wrong, so that you could say the right story, right? So it was like his girl was cheating on him, and then he killed her and then hung himself in jail.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
I didn't know it was that.
Yeah, he got arrested. And the thing was this, remember the internet was it was different back then. It was around enough that you got to hear things from places that you normally wouldn't, but it was also not everywhere enough that you got everything right away. So the wrong story would float around for a while. And I remember when that happened, it was like, yo, oh man, he's suspected of murdering. Like, no, he did it, but the president's getting him out. No, they're gonna give him this pardon. Like, it was just rumor after rumor. That's why when this stuff broke, it was like, yo, what is true and what is not? Because story just, man, it got big. And it's, the crazy thing is, the things that are the most hard to hear are the things that seem to be true at this point.
Well, we got a super chat that is from Sway, who says Danny versus Harrison co-main Andy next pay-per-view. I could do that, but Andy ain't about to be the co-main of anybody's fight right now. He just did his own pay-per-view. So it would have to be the other way. Unfortunately, it would have to be Andy versus like Negron versus Danny versus like Abel Ramos that beat Omar Figueroa. You know what I'm saying? And we need some more Puerto Ricans, man. Who else we got? We got to build a Puerto Rican Day card, man. What's up? Who else? Rosado, we can't use him. He about to go fight Malakuliev, man.
Gabe Rosado?
Fucking Gabe, bro. Gabe is always he's everybody's like bro, he does it, man. He just goes in tough fight after tough fight. Poor guy, man. This is what he gets for getting a tight fight with Daniel Jacobs, arguably beating him. This is what they give him, you know?
Yep.
Eastern European killer and shit.
Let me see. That was Sway's. So James Benitez is next, and he says, "Do you think Top Rank drops him soon?" I'm assuming he's talking about Verdejo. Yeah. I mean, I think that no matter. Yes, probably. I think if he has anything to do with this, there's no way anybody is keeping him around.
I think his church is gonna drop him.
Word. Yeah,
I mean,
this is like, it's from everything I've read that's official. It was a horrific crime. Like
I put my mind to it when you guys said it, and I was like, ooh, I wouldn't want to be going through that.
Word.
Like he can't probably even focus on hitting the heavy bag.
I can see two different scenarios where they drop him and they don't drop him, right? So why can they drop him? Because he was already a talent that didn't amount to what they expected.
Yeah.
They've already invested a lot of money in him, and it hasn't worked out. He's not been looking like the Shakur Stevenson talent that they expected him to be. That being said, perfect time to drop him. They could also not drop him because it's like, let's stick with this kid throughout this hard time. We've been with him for this long. Not for any financial gain, just to show that they're good guys. So it could go two ways. Hopefully it's that other way where they do stick with him, because Bob must know fantastic lawyers. He's been on this earth for so long. He's a lawyer himself. He's been with boxing. Let's not forget that boxing is an inner city sport. It is a minority sport. So I'm sure that Bob has more stories similar to these. Maybe not as graphic, but I'm sure he's had stories where he's had to help his fighters get out of legal situations by finding them legal representation. Hopefully for Verdejo, he's not guilty, and he's okay, but again,
it's tough, man.
It's a tough situation. That being said, getting back to the news, should we just go to the main event of Chisora before we start talking undercards, or are you guys obviously we can talk about Eslandri Lara.
Yeah,
tremendously.
If you just go through them real
impressed.
quick, we can.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, Arreola Lara, poor Cornflake, man. Oh man, that was bad.
You guys heard of Cornflake before last night?
Yeah, you wildin'. You don't know Cornflake?
Nah, never. Heard
he's
of
like a TBV.
What? We've interviewed. He's from New Jersey. You
I know. I learned that yesterday. He's from Belleville, New Jersey. I was like, oh shit. He was tough
he
and
ain't from
confident.
Belleville. You misheard that. He's from Minville.
From where?
Yeah, it's down South Jersey, like Minville.
Yeah, but they showed Belleville.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
They probably was like, yo, don't nobody never heard of your town and shit. He ain't from no fucking Belleville.
Like, oh, they showed his we showed the wrong place.
I mean, maybe
he
moved to Belleville.
Out. They were like, don't worry about it.
Maybe he moved to Belleville. Maybe he moved to Belleville after he started training with Coach O, because he, being down south Jersey, that's far as hell.
He
was
very
just
much
on the
out
show
of his
last
element.
week. Listen, he was a friend of the show, and there's nothing wrong with that. I told you I was riding with my heart on my sleeve, so my heart was on my sleeve.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate.
I'll take all that crow. Listen, I ride with my people. If Ness wants to fight, I bet I'm in his corner. I'm going to pick him. That's my man's. And that's the same thing. Like Cornflake, I was riding with him. He didn't get the job done.
I bet beats the dude that Johnny Fisher fought yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
That dude, I don't even know how Eddie did that. How you get that dude a job? That dude didn't want to. That's called, like, that type of behavior should be classified as not wanting to work. This is your job. I am paying you a check. Your job is to perform under these lights, not to do that. That man is, boxing needs to we need to stop playing. Like, some of this shit should not be acceptable. His pants was falling off his body. Like, my man was more excited than me when the ref stopped the fight. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
for real.
right.
What did Johnny learn there? Like, I don't understand his backward ass way of promoting and thinking. Like, what did Johnny learn? And what did the promoter gain? Did Eddie make Johnny any more popular, where 5 fights from now he'll recoup this check that he just gave Johnny for some fucking dude that dude never boxed before, man? Like, and if he is on other people's resume, it's been just like this. Like, oh yeah, I'll fight. And no training camp, nothing. Listen, I would be shocked if that man holds any sort of training camp. If we can do some 21 questions with his ass and get into, I know he don't even probably got a home gym, man. You seen that dude? It's crazy, bro. We got to stop this shit, man. I mean, does football do this? Do we have any sort of football player on any sort of team that will perform as badly as that opponent did?
In the pro level, nah.
Exactly, because we don't care. We the scum. Boxing is scum, man. Like, it's crazy, man. Scum gang. Yo, for real. Nah, they need to do something, bro, because, like, this shouldn't be allowed. Johnny Fisher gained nothing last night. Even he was upset with the opponent consistently just grappling him. Like, come on, man.
Well, listen, we can move on to that card. I just wanted to say, Fundora, I didn't think the Cora stoppage, the Cota stoppage was bad. I thought that it was a ill-timed stoppage because Cota was throwing back and it was getting more exciting. And that's what the fans were there to see, right? So that's what made it seem bad, but Cota was taking a lot of really bad shots. And I always look at, when you stop a fight, what are the odds that this fighter's going to lose? You want it to be as close to 100%. You're sure the fight is done. It's over, right? In that case, I felt like it was pretty close to the fact that, Cota had no shot to come back. Fundora was doing his thing. It was a good win. Fundora is so long and tall. He could be a problem for a lot of guys.
Yo, Brandon, but that's my point, Champy. You said college football. That means amateur boxing. NFL is pro boxing. So, like, that dude, he shouldn't be in there. And no promoter should hire anyone to work like that. Like, that's the equivalent of a street worker, man. And that wasn't even a street worker, bro. You go to Home Depot and find dudes that want to kick it better than that. For real.
Yo, lying.
Man, they tripping, man.
Listen, well, the last fight I want to go over before we move on is Omar Figueroa, Abel Ramos. Man, Omar, I don't know what he was thinking going into that fight. Yes, first of all, he basically covered his eyes with the opposite hand every time he moved his head. And then he left his glove so close to his face that even when Ramos was connecting with the glove, it was still hitting him in the face. Like, his own glove was hitting himself in the face. I don't know what he was thinking fighting the way he fought last night, but that just wasn't it. Whoever was responsible for telling Omar he looked that he needed to fight that way. That was just a bad call all around. But shout out to Abel Ramos, did his thing. Omar, I don't know what that win's worth today. But he's still got a somewhat of a name, so it should put Abel in some good places moving forward. But yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of the card.
Yeah, man. Omar just never leveled up. He's fought like that all the time, leaning his head to the right and just,
dude, he was leaning far.
Like, just the thing is that he would get away with this when he was a 130 and 135 pounder. He's now a welterweight, who doesn't punch hard.
Right.
At 130 and 135, he wasn't a puncher. And now he's moved up to welterweight and he's not a puncher. And this style doesn't work. Like, he used to get away with that. Like, it's not going to work on this level. You know what I mean? So, it's unfortunate. But I think he was coming off the Ugas loss, right? Like, he was also long layoff. Like, this and that's the thing, like, this is some of these guys aren't dedicated. Like, is he gonna get back into the gym, or is this just a check and he's gonna be be called on for the next person to use his name?
Yeah, well, he had fought in Ugas in July of 2019, and that was his last fight. Exactly. But Abel Ramos' last fight was against Ugas in September 2020, so,
Yeah, no, Ramos was just in a title fight with Ugas, so I remember that.
Yep.
It's Figueroa that I knew hadn't fought since the Ugas fight, and it's just like, you're being used for your name.
Yeah.
And you're not even being used, like, because it's him not putting in the work. His whole career has been that. He was with Joel Diaz and he didn't want to travel to go to Joel Diaz, so he stopped working with Joel Diaz. And he was going to get great sparring in Joel Diaz and they were going to see whatever flaws he had in training camp, but that's not what he wanted. Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment says Figueroa looking like Jim Carrey, me, myself, and Irene. Laughing out loud emoji.
That's hilarious.
Sway, go for it.
Says Bivol is food. Canelo should have unified after beating Kovalev. Canelo going to be undisputed at 175 after 168. 175 looks weak. Ward needs to come back.
Yeah, man. Poor Richards, man. He just wasn't ready, man. It's just so many levels in boxing, and Richards did not. He looked so is it a word? But like, he just was like, when that jab would come, like, it wasn't jittery is not the word, but he just didn't look sturdy. No. He didn't look sturdy. Like, when those punches would come at him, he would be trying to, I don't know, parry,
like
maybe?
Jumpy, maybe?
Yes, definitely jumpy looking. Very few highlights for Richards, but hey, man,
But let me ask you, Bivol's performance, does any of it reflect upon the idea that he hadn't fought since October 2019? Like, can you say, oh, well, that guy that
I don't
fought,
even know, man.
Part of it was...
Bivol's just never impressed me the way that he's impressed these hardcore fans. Like, look at what you just said. Like, this dude's been out the ring since 2019. Is that serious?
October 2019 against
crazy.
Lenin Castillo.
It seems like this was the day of the people that needed to get that 2-year ring rust off, Andy, Arreola, all these dudes, bro, crazy. I don't know what to tell you, man. Bivol, again, never really impressed me. I would like to see him get in the mix with some of these bigger name people. But he won, and he keeps on winning, and he'll get a big fight eventually. And is he 168 or is that 75?
He's a 75 guy. Yeah, the fight to make is him and Better Beef. I agree with you. I think that first of all, I think Craig Richards wasn't ready. You're absolutely right.
He didn't look it, bro.
They put him in a tough situation there. With Bivol coming off that layoff, I think he just needed a fight like this. Obviously it would have been nice if he would have been able to step up a little bit more, do the things necessary to, either get a stoppage or something. I mean, two of the judges had it a point apiece. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like it wasn't like this wide marked unanimous decision. On the cards, but we'll move on from that one. I definitely
Richards just looked like a guy that wasn't on Bivol's level. He reacted to the shots of Bivol different, even if it was catching him on the gloves. He just, he needs a little more experience, but he's a tall guy with a nice jab, very long right hand. He needs more in-ring experience. Bivol was a big puncher. It seems like he respected Bivol too much, too. I want these guys to understand it's like, I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. Might as well go for it.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Yeah, like all these dudes trying to survive, do enough to survive. Like, are you going to get a call back for surviving? I don't know. It's crazy, bro. But looks like we got a counterpunch from Mr. PBC.
All right.
What's up, Mr. PBC?
Man, you guys are crazy, man. That dude's always... Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly.
Oh, cool, because I just got these headphones out the washer. Yeah, man, Richards always kind of looked like that, and don't underestimate Bivol, man. He's beaten some top pedigree people. He's tamed Joe Smith. He's tamed John Pascal. Come on, man, stop this. I know you got the Canelo love. You have relatives that are cousins of your uncle that are Mexican.
None of those performances you mentioned are worth going back and watching, ridiculous. Though, right? Are they? Keep it real.
I've been watching.
No, what I'm saying is, are those two performances worth?
Yes.
They're worth going back and watching?
Yes.
Man, you tripping, man.
Man, so when you just seen Joe Smith rob Blastoff, you didn't want to make you go watching Bivol versus Joe Smith?
Nah, and he didn't rob anybody. Yeah. You tripping.
Man, okay. You're tripping, man. Stop this Canelo love stuff. It's getting out of hand. Don't disrespect Bivol.
I didn't even talk about Canelo, but that's cool. I see
you kind of did. You kind of did.
I see your obsession. I see your obsession.
Nah, you're just a soft touch when it comes to topics.
Yeah, you're a soft touch on Canelo. You love to talk about.
Nah, you're
got a man
passive
crush.
aggressive with the answer.
We realized that
passive aggressiveness.
Man crush for
you can't
Canelo.
Disrespect Bivol when he's tamed wild dogs.
Wild
that
dogs?
destroyed a lot of boxers.
You got to give him credit. Sullivan Barrera, Isaac Chalemba, Pascal, Joe Smith. I mean, these are, even Cedric Agnew. Like, that's not like the biggest, that's not a world beater, but Cedric Agnew, that's a name that we know. That's a guy that's been in there, with top fighters, and so I don't know. It is a very, very impressive record at 18-0. To me, it's not about Bivol as a whole. To me, it's about Bivol yesterday and what that performance was, and it just left me wanting a little more.
Listen, he's been underwhelming. He went 12 with Lenny Castillo his last time out. He went 12 with Joe Smith. Like, the dude that y'all keep saying is like this killer, his like last 5 fights have gone 12. Like, you're not a killer. Say he's a boxer that can win rounds, but like, he's not a killer, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to watch at least the possibility of a knockout. Like, I know I'm not getting a knockout with this guy. He didn't knock out Craig Richards. He didn't knock out Lenny Castillo. So those are two different levels. So yeah, you want to say, oh, he tamed the wild Joe Smith. Well, cool. That's elite level. He still ain't knock him out. Pascal, elite level. He ain't knock him out. Chalemba, not elite, but has been or fought elite level, didn't knock him out. Like, yo, it's just not impressive, especially when the hardcores, right, the hipsters told us that this dude was like the dude. They told us he was like the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You can't be that dude and not perform. You got to perform. And yeah, Floyd ain't knock everybody out, but these fights don't look the way Floyd be fighting. Like, it just ain't even the same. I'm sorry. There's no hatred to Bivol. Like, I gave him credit. You know, he beat a tall guy long, rangy guy, but that guy wasn't ready. And this is a tune-up COVID fight. You know, he's been out the ring. All good. We can move on to the dude that did impress. Chris fucking Eubank Jr., man. Chris fucking Eubank Jr., the star of the night, man.
I didn't get to see Chris Eubank.
What?
How did it? You tell me. I want to know.
Yo, it's crazy.
That Nestor Gibbs reporting.
It's crazy, man, because we talk about Andy and what people will get from being in that Eddie and Canelo camp and what signs of Canelo we see in Andy, bro. That kid looked like Roy Jones last night. He literally looked like him too, like with the like sometimes physically? Sometimes he's looking like him, man. Like sometimes he's literally looking like that dude, man. Yo, tripling up the hood. Look, people mad at me talking about what did Ness say? Yeah, I was impressed with Eubank. Yo, his stamina's wonderful, man. I can't believe that people hating on him. Bro, this dude throws
You're talking about Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm just before we started the show, somebody said, yo, who you think Ness is going to big up? Out of all the names that fought yesterday, Chris Eubank Jr. would have been on the bottom 20. I never would have thought you would have said it. I don't know. I just didn't expect it coming from you.
Yeah, he was getting touched.
I'm not going to interrupt. Go.
Of course he was getting touched because he was taking chances. He's got he was trying everything. Roy Jones Jr. Listen, when you go back and watch that fight, you gotta think Roy, and then you're gonna fucking see it literally like Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon. You're gonna see fucking Eubank just fucking glowing as he's doing the lead left hook down. Yo, the head movement, the way that he's looking. Yo, you gotta watch that fight, bro. Like they laughing, right? Because Eubank didn't fight a name. He got touched up by this guy, but he also beat the living hell out this dude. Like busted him up. First of all, the haters ain't gonna tell you Eubank let him live. He let him live. He basically let him live. I think it was the first, second, third round that let them tell you. He had him. He already hit him with like six unanswered punches. He already hit him with it. It's like he counted them shits like all landed. And he's like, nah, you know what? I ain't gonna let them stop this fight. Pull back, got to the center of the ring, told him, come on. He ain't want to beat him up. He ain't want an early knockout. He was working on shit. He was working on his inner Roy. Roy's his trainer.
Good, though. And he looked good.
To me, he looked good because he's literally trying something. He's trying the left hook of Roy. He's trying the lead hand low of Roy. He's trying the triple jab on circling of Roy. Bruh, he did the triple left hook on my man. Bruh, they laughing now.
You know what it was?
How I'm disrespecting Royce's trainer. You guys don't even watch boxing, man.
Like, wait, what did he say?
I'm disrespecting Roy. Royce's fucking trainer. Royce's trainer. Do they know that? And he's been his trainer for like the last fucking 3 years or some shit, man.
He came on here. I remember when he first, I was listening still man, I forgot how long ago it was, but he had mentioned it on here. Anyway, real quick, I just wanted to bring this up because I think that now I remember what I saw, and people went straight to Twitter and said, this guy beats Charlo, LOL. This guy beats Andrade, you're kidding. This guy never had a chance.
Yo, that's crazy.
So it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy because I thought differently. I seen that fight and I said to myself, I didn't ask, does he beat Charlo? Instead, I said, does Charlo nullify Eubank just with the jab? Because if he doesn't, I want that fight. I think that fight will produce so much fucking action. Listen, he could nullify him with the jab because Eubank is, again, trying to be Roy. He's always been unorthodox. So getting with Roy and trying the Roy Jones stuff is only adding to his repertoire. But he's very vulnerable. He was like, he'll be leaning out. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets in there. That's what I'm saying. He's taking chances. Like he's throwing 4 punch combinations. So he's there to be hit. But if Charlo got one of the best jabs in the business, so it's going to be an issue because if you think back to the Billy Joe fight, that's what Billy Joe did. Jab, jab, jab. And it eventually, Eubank ain't built for that. He's a lunger. He wants to lunge in with the left hook or jump in with a right hand. He's not a dude that's setting up his big shot. So if Charlo could tame him with the jab, it's going to be bad. But Eubank did look good. Thank you, Mad Bet 100 with the super chat, who said Eubank looked real good. I agree with Ness. Yeah, they don't see it till they see it, bro. They don't see it till he's in a big fight and the shit that he's working on, he implements it on the elite level. Of course you're going to get touched up. My man he's literally doing the Roy Jones with the hook down here, and then he lunging with the left hook, misses. He just reset and did this shit again. And missed again. He's working on shit,
like a more athletic Navarrete. Like Navarrete would do that shit. It's like a mile away. You could see it. But Eubank is much more explosive, and he's just much more athletic.
They gave him a pie, man. And this dude ain't no pie. First of all, I want to see him back. What's his name? Michael Morrison?
Oh, the guy that he fought? Yeah.
I want to see him back. That dude's a tough...
Marcus Morrison.
Tough SOB, man. Tough SOB, man. Put him back in the ring with somebody.
23-4.
Put him in the ring. I don't care about his losses. He did okay, man. He did
okay.
Okay.
It's not a bad record. I mean, I don't know who he's lost to, but... Oh, look, he lost to Alistair Warren. I don't know who that is. Tyan Booth. Jason Wellborn. We know him.
What weight is that? Did they fight at 60?
They fought at 160, yeah.
Wow, that kid is big as fuck. Get Morrison another fight, man.
They both weighed in at 161.5.
Get Morrison another fight, man. Get Morrison another fight. That kid, I like him. I like him. And look, I'm talking about...
I can't wait to go back and watch this.
I'm talking about, I like him in the sense to be a B side, Give another guy rounds. Give another guy the opportunity to learn on the job. I'm not saying Morrison's a world beater, man. Y'all got to understand what boxing is, man. They gonna build these people, and that's what Eubank does well. He gets with a promoter and or entity for these 1 and 2 fights, maybe a 3-fight deal, but he knows how to get in and get out without getting a big ass fight. He was just with PBC, he ain't take on no threat. Now he's back over here with the what they say, Sutherland brothers, right?
Yeah,
I'm always saying it wrong.
Sutherland. Yeah.
So now he's back with these guys, but they're working with Eddie, but they gave him another dude that he's gonna... This is another Reginald Quinlan, except this Morrison dude was actually tougher than Quinlan, in my opinion. I would love to see this dude back. But I think that Eubank showed vulnerability enough for Triple G to take the fight. Remember that Eddie is working with Triple G, man. And that's the zone, and this fight was on the zone, and they need Triple G to fight. They need him to, that's a winnable fight for Eubank and for Triple G, but I would pick Eubank. He would probably get knocked out because he's vulnerable. I'm telling you, he does these fucking 20 punch combinations, so somebody's always clipping him on the way out. But if he could be a little more disciplined and just stick to 1, 2, 3, because he ain't never gonna do 1, 2. He's maybe 1, 2, 3, and let the 4 be his I went overboard. Because I'm telling you, he sticks around too long in the pocket and he ends up pulling his head back. He gets clipped, you know what I'm saying? But his tank is crazy, bro. I would love to see this dude fight some of these 60 pounds. Him and Murata would be a good fight too.
That's what I was going to say. I would like to see the Murata fight.
Him and Murata would be a good fight too, man. Listen, this dude's tank is bananas. He starts combinations to the body with uppercuts, right? And it's maybe 4 uppercuts, boom, 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 boom. Then comes up top with hooks and right hand. I'm telling you, he stays there too long, but it's the speed. He's too fast for these dudes. He just got to get his shit together, I think, on a discipline side, because again, they're like, oh, he got touched. Yeah, he's getting touched because he's literally staying there, hitting you with 7 punches or trying to hit you with 7. If they could fucking dial him back, like I said, to the 3s he's gonna be too fast for these dudes. His agility is nasty and his tank is nasty. I like him. I like what I seen last night. I know it wasn't, an elite level fighter, but that's right. I'll take that shit all day. Otis. What? Eubank Munguia, he stops Munguia. And it's funny too, because does he have power? He was hitting the shit out of this dude last night and didn't stop him, right? Like, damn, does he have power? He might not have no power, but him and Munguia will be a bomb burner. That shit is worth every cent, because they both there to get hit, and they both will hit. Now Munguia might have more power. He's splitting dude's face in half with gloves on. I don't know.
But I also would say that while he might carry the power, I don't think he carries what it takes. If Eubank is fighting his fight, I don't know if Munguia can find him. I mean, he had a hard enough time finding what's his name in the last fight, where he caught that split lip.
He working with a new trainer too, man. He getting with Morales. It's a lot of pressure. You with this world legend and Mexican legend, you Mexican, and all this pressure's on you. They probably in there hating on Canelo. You know how it be. Like, yo, you could be better than Canelo.
Right.
Yeah, bro, come on, man. He was already pitted against Canelo twice. Soon as he got in the game, Jaime versus Canelo. Jaime, damn, get a kid a chance. He ain't even at 60 yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
well. Listen, I definitely want to real quick officially go over the Chisora Parker. I know you had touched on it a little bit. I just want to make the point.
We didn't even touch on it really.
I know, and here's the thing. I felt like that was it was much better than I thought it would be. That fight was much better in terms of what I expected. But man, I really wish Derek Chisora would have gotten the nod. I don't think it was a robbery. A lot of people were saying it was a lot of people on Twitter are saying it was a robbery. I don't think it was a robbery. I think it was a fight that both guys could have conceivably won. Andy Lee gave an interview afterwards, and he talked about the fact that, the fight was very close. That fight was very close, and both guys deserved the nod. I think that I was going for Derek. I was going for him because, to me, Chisora makes the game more interesting. Joseph Parker is just so bland.
I'm with you on that.
Bland. He's vanilla. Like, there's just not a lot about him that really moves the needle. Derek Chisora at least can talk his way into making casual fans believe in him.
Yep.
And so, I don't know. It was a good fight, though. I wouldn't mind seeing them do it again, honestly.
No on the doing it again, but definitely I agree with you that Chisora was the dude that could take the sport further, which is crazy. But when I watched this fight, I said to myself, Ness, try not to forget to give respect to David Haye. I wish I had the Do Me soundbite right now, like Sweet Caroline or something, just like a tribute. Damn, bro. Yo, let me Google this, man, because David Haye, bro, this dude made this shit so easy, right? Like, everyone has had problems with Chisora besides David Haye and Klitschko and Fury, right? Or am I glossing over his career too simply? I think Fury handled him both times pretty simple. Haye stopped him in 5. And, Klitschko, in my opinion, Vitaly really, really put hands on him and just busted him up. But, bro, it just makes you admire Haye, man. I knew I was right. I always fucked with Haye early in his career, man, when he had the decapitation shirts of him and of the two Klitschko brothers, and bro, he was just like, he did everything. He was not bust, excuse me. He was what I tell people to do. He was Clubber Lane, man. He would show up. He was Shannon Briggs before Shannon Briggs. Shannon copied David Haye. People don't know.
Yeah. You right.
Shannon copied David Haye. David Haye would just show up anywhere talking to the Klitschko brothers with the shirts of both their heads chopped off. And that shit, for whatever reason, that bothered the hell out of them. Like, they felt that was disrespectful. They felt like that was him wishing death on them. They never wanted to give him the fight because of that. It's crazy. It was like some Charlo Brothers shit. Look, it was like some Charlo Brothers against the Andre shit. No, like, nah, we ain't never fighting that dude. He's disrespectful. But so Hay just did it even more. Showed up everywhere. I think one day, I could be wrong. UK dudes helped me with this. But I think like Hay showed up to like a daytime talk show one time where one of the Klitschko brothers was at. And that's what finally got him to fight. But, yo, back to the point. He starched Chisora in 5. Like, so simply. Like, the heavyweight division has been having massive trouble with Derek Chisora. Like, even Dillian White, you know what I'm saying? He's knocked out Chisora too, but, like, he's gone rounds with Chisora. Like, bro, they got to stop playing. Like, man, yo, Parker was having a tough time, but not a I lost the fight tough time. Like, you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Yo, he kept him at the end of the jab.
Like, you know, yeah, that's what it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was definitely rough early, and that was a legit knockdown, but it was borderline. Sure. It was borderline, and that was the beginning of what was to come, because after that...
What was borderline to you about it?
Bro, that shit was borderline behind the back of the head. That shit was...
Okay, yes, but... Okay, let me ask you this in a different way, because we got into this argument last night on Twitter. Was it that it was in back of his head and it should have been a foul, or was it that it was in the back of his head, but he put himself in a position to get hit in the back of the head, so it was hard to call it a foul?
For me, it wasn't like that controversial. Like, that shit looks clean as hell. You see the replay, that shit looks clean as hell.
Yeah.
But it's still a glove that takes a lot of fucking circumference on your head. So it was
100%.
It hit everything, in my opinion. Like, was it back of the head? No. But did it hit somewhere where it could fuck up his equilibrium all around the back side of the face head? Hell yeah, it looked that way.
I'm sure that was part of it. That had to have been part of it.
Now, after that, that was a legit one. I had no problem scoring that for him. I didn't question that. That was a legit knockdown. But after that, man, they got to stop with the shit.
The what?
Oh, shit. He said Verdejo killed. Nah, he ain't turned himself into the feds. What y'all talking about? He did. We talked about it 20 minutes ago. Check it out. But Johan Colon says Verdejo killed his side chick and turned himself into the feds. But we gave you guys a thorough, kind of report on what is officially happening with that. That being said, Chisora got very dirty, hit my man Parker so many times behind the head. Shout out to Parker that finally showed me some dog. And I don't know, was it the 7th round? He just fucking hit Chisora right behind the back of the head, right back too. Like, boom,
and
nice,
he was
quick,
doing that thing
fast
where he grabs
hand.
him and does it. Yeah.
You know, and Chisora's just a real dirty fighter. You know, very diva-ish ways. You know, Matchroom and Eddie Hearn probably need to think about sitting him out a little bit so that he can reflect on, you know, trying to pull this. You know, he's having a pissing contest.
Damn, you think he needs a timeout, champ?
Homie, he did this with the Regis Prograis fight.
I know. You're
now
right.
He does
it
this
was bullshit.
again. Like, come on, man.
It was
like,
bullshit, man.
He's
and for those that don't know what
boxing fans,
talking
man.
about, leading up within the 24 hours leading up into the fight on Friday, reports were surfacing that Chisora was ready to walk out.
They saying the reports is reported now that Verdejo just got locked up right now.
I'm looking. I don't see anything yet, but
yeah, you the Twitter guy. You'll keep me posted. You the Twitter guy, man.
I got you. But yeah, I don't know. I think. Shit. Damn, I forgot where I was going with that. Go ahead. My bad. Yep, something happened. It looks like I don't know what yet.
It'll come. Someone will hit us with the Linkovich. That being said, Chisora got dirty. Parker adjusted. He popped the jab numerous times, you know, hooking off the jab. The only success Chisora would have is the occasional right hand, looping, you know, just wasting so much energy. And then sometimes he would land some good shots to the body, you know, every now and then. They going crazy with this Verdejo news, huh?
Yeah, man.
Unfortunate, man. I hate that is even the case, man. Fucking poor Verdejo. I was telling my girl, I don't even know that he's had a luxurious enough career to go do life in jail or 20 to life for murder. Like, he's gonna be broke. Poor guy. I mean, I can't call him poor guy. You commit murder. I mean, not many people give a fuck, but you know, his career just didn't pop off to be in this situation. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, if he's part of this and, you know, it was violent enough, listen, that person's
definitely untitled on this one, bro.
For sure.
Which the post is out, man. So
yeah.
If you wanna,
I'm seeing the news. It's on Telemundo right now.
Oh man, Telemundo.
They got Felix. They're putting him in the back of the squad car.
Oh man.
Yeah, let me.
I told you, man. Once if it's electronic, they took his shit. They got you, B. Damn, somebody. Let me see.
Yeah, let me post it to the. If somebody has it sent to the pre-pro already.
Mad Ben said Parker was hugging Huggy Bear. I don't know about that, man. Parker was hugging like on the ropes. Look at that little ass ring they had poor Parker in, man.
Yeah, that
shit was little as hell.
They had him,
bro. He took a step back and it would be like.
But let's be real, Chisora was, you know, he initiated all that kind of fight.
Somebody said,
you know, and that was his right to do that. Like, it was his game that he was fighting.
Okay, here we go. Big Nick, did Big Nick send it? Oh man, they got my man. Breaking Puerto Rican Felix Verdejo is now charged in the death of his girlfriend, Kelisha Rodriguez Ortiz. He is charged with kidnapping resulting in the death.
Check the pre-pro.
Oh my goodness.
And after he surrendered to the FBI in Puerto Rico.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Yeah. So.
Mensajes de texto que no se había reportado a su lugar de trabajo. Ahí es que entonces ellos proceden a comunicarse con los familiares, quienes de igual forma les extrañaban, les han tenido en una agonía a su familia, luego de que la joven no se reportara a su trabajo a eso de las 8:30 de la mañana del jueves, y fuera precisamente su patrono, su jefe, sus compañeros de trabajo quienes...
Damn, she didn't show up to work.
Yeah.
So people started suspecting.
The boss was checking
fucking
in on.
Felix.
Yeah, man. This is not.
Listen, being arrested doesn't mean you guilty. If you're like a Verdejo fan, you know what I'm saying? Don't mean he's guilty just because he's arrested. You know, he's still.
It's guilty till proven. I mean, innocent till proven guilty. You're right, but the optics, though, champ. It's like, yo, when do these stories of, you know,
well, it's all about alibi. I mean, at this point, it's about alibi. You know what I mean?
I think if he had a credible enough alibi or like a solid enough one, like if they had him on camera at the Walmart at the time of the like, then it wouldn't have gotten to this point. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, because guess what? It still could be one of the many scenarios that we said. It's not. None of this information suggests that he physically killed her. You know, he can still be.
That's true.
An accomplice of this some way, somehow. But yeah, man. Unfortunate. Yeah, what did you think of Chisora? You know, I thought Parker did enough. I thought he, you know, jabs, hooks, you know, did what he had to do.
I thought Parker definitely came back, fought a smarter fight as the fight went on. You know, Chisora had his success early. I knew the problem was going to be, can Chisora keep up the kind of fight that he was fighting early on throughout 12? You know, and he couldn't. And that's, you know, if anybody could, then everybody would. And it would be that easy, but it's not. And that's what separates the world-class heavyweights from, you know, really good fighters. And Chisora is that. He's a really great fighter. Parker, like I said, I was really hoping Chisora got that break and were to, you know, get the nod on this one, just because I feel like he does more in the division. But, you know, I'll say this. For the same thing, like I thought about the pay-per-view last night with Andy and Arreola, and I thought, man, if this was on regular Fox, think about how many people would have saw this great fight and how many more people would have been made fans of Andy and boxing in general. That was a big, you know, disappointment. And then there was part of me too that thought, man, if people could have seen this Parker, like these types of fights were the ones that people were able to see, there would be a bigger demand, for boxing and specifically heavyweight boxing all around. But there were two good fights, and, I think the two better fighters won in Andy Ruiz and Parker.
We got a super chat from What Rep It that says, boxing is a novela. Verdejo case. Canelo brother kidnapped. Yeah, man, I told y'all that a few days ago, man. Listen, we ain't go through everything, but I do want to mix in some calls here and get to the people. I know.
Good idea.
We got King Born in Brooklyn. We're going to go to you first real quick. Let me just play.
Very good idea.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
I know this might come off as like some sort of cheap shot, but it is not. I wanted to give you the time to talk about Sonny, but it just kind of like I didn't. But if you want,
no, go ahead. We'll take some calls, and then I'll we'll go through it after a few calls.
Yeah. So I just don't want because I know those are the two main events everybody's talking about, heavyweight.
Yeah,
division,
and I don't want to make guys wait any longer, but we can definitely go back to because I do want to talk about that great performance from Sonny.
When you see old dirty bastard fall in a position like that, then you know that I'm getting ready to bust your.
Yes, sir. What up, King Boy?
Yo, listen, Ness, man. I was listening to you talk about Chris Eubank, right? I thought you was on Woonga or some shit. When I just looked at it just now, yo, he look like a poor man Roy Jones in there, Chris Eubank, dog. He look good. Word is born. I'm shocked. That's why, everybody listen right now, King Boy here, go look at that Chris Eubank fight, and I dare anyone to tell me he don't mind you of a poor man Roy Jones. Word is born.
And he being trained by Roy. He being trained by Roy, so
I'm
he
shocked.
gonna get better. He gonna get better.
To it. Yo, doggy, listen. I'm gonna tell you, I saw all the fights. Know what I mean? Ruiz show. He looked at ring rust, man. But if Arreola is catching him, right? What the fuck gonna happen when he face F.A. Ajaba? Know what I mean? Put him in there, F.A. Ajaba, Michael Polite Coffee, Jared Anderson. Let's go, man. Fuck all that. Let's get Ruiz gotta go back to the drawing board. Maybe he need that extra weight, man. I don't know, it just didn't look right, man. It didn't look right. And Arreola had the bum shoulder and shit like that. But, it was fights all night. In the crowd, in the ring, it was on. Listen, I'm going to say it right now. You heard it from King Born. Sebastian Fundora, a.k.a. the Spider Crab. That dude got an 80-inch reach, and he throw his hands. I got him. Dare I say it? They're going to curse me out. I see him beating Erickson Lubin. I think if Little Charlo is on his bad game, he could beat Little Charlo. Because he's just going to smother you. Coda's 5'11", and look what he did to him, man. You know what I'm saying? But Coda's catching with that overhand right. But that dude come to fight, man. I got Spider Crab, Sebastian Fundora. I got him in there, man. I got him beating Erickson Lubin. I got him beating fucking Tony the Tiger Harrison. Lara? Dog, Lamana Cornflake, man, I don't know, brother. I don't know, man. When the hell we saw Lara knock somebody out? Keep it real. Lara caught him with, it looked like he punched him on the neck and he hit his nerve. Ness, you remember looking at Star Trek and Dr. Spock used to he used to do that, the Vulcan grip? But I think Lamana was knocked out when his head hit the canvas like that, man. And give it up to little Canelo, man. That dude 8 mil. It was real.
Born, thanks for calling in. Keem the Dream in Florida. Keem the Dream in Florida. You with me or what, champ?
Are you with me?
All right, well, we're going to move on to Hawk in Maryland. Hawk in Maryland, what up?
Oh, what's up to God Ness? How you feeling?
What's going on, champ? How are you?
Ain't too much. Hey, you right, bro. That David Hay, dog, he was a beast. I love the David Hay. Remember, Holyfield fought that 6'9", 300-pound heavyweight, got beat up. David Hay came through and knocked him out, took that WBA belt from that dude. Yeah. But that was years ago. But what about the Omar Figueroa, dog? When he walked over to the corner, I thought he was going to spit. Yo, he just had blood running out of his mouth. All them body shots. That was vicious. But the fight that shocked me was that Chisora, man. That dude just fight like an animal, man. He just keeps coming. I got to dare say he looked, I don't know how to put it, but he just so determined, man. The dude is so determined. And now on to my main joke is and I like the Lara knockout. But my main joker was Andy Alvarez and Chris Jones Jr., bro. Andy looked a little bit like Canelo out there once he got himself together. He took the blow upside the head. You know, I think it's just that he needed to get a little rusty and get used to acclimated to this training and his staff. Same thing with Junior, Chris. Get acclimated, but I realized after that shot, he took time, got himself together, then he took over the fight. Basically, took over the fight. He just got to get to that style. Same thing with Chris now. I call him Chris Jones Jr. because he just reminded me of Roy so much. He looked so nice out there with it, and he got that. Yeah, Chris Jones Jr., bro. He got that. Yeah, dog. That's what I called him last night when I was looking at him. I said, "Look at Chris Jones Jr. Look at him. Three left hooks for one. 3 left hooks. Then he stepped back and he threw another 3 left hooks. I'm like, look at Chris Jones Jr. Oh my goodness. Give the man some time. Give him a couple of more little fights. No. He don't need Triple G right now. He needs 1 or 2 more fights. Then he'll go slice Triple G up because them combinations he put together. And that engine he got, man. He got that motor, man. Yes. He could go. I mean, yes, he has an engine, bro. No question. But, yeah, I love that Andy got himself together. You can't get a bigger test than get somebody coming at you the whole 12 trying to kill you, and you pull yourself together. And then he basically wasn't even in danger no more after about the 7th round. He was pretty much in control. But, you know, he's going to get better at it. You know, he got both of them going to get acclimated to their styles, Andy and Chris. But I was really impressed with Chris Jones Jr. though. But I think he's going to show some. He's going to be a real force in that weight class. Yeah, he's going to be a real force in that weight class. Who else was out there last? Yesterday we saw that Ramos, the 2 Ramos fights. The first one, that was a good one too. But he's skin of his teeth. And Parker, he a fighter that just don't got the killer instinct.
Hawk, man, thanks for calling in, my friend. We're going out to Key, man. You let a bunch of people get in front of you. All right, we're going out.
I'll look at 513.
Wait a minute. You say you know boxing? Yeah.
What is it?
Maybe I don't know.
Tell me what a pull counter is.
Pull counter? I've never heard that term before. That must have been your term. You must have been big.
Fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit.
Yo, what up?
What up?
What up? My bad, man. I was in the garage with the dogs. It's loud in there, so I couldn't get to the phone. I appreciate you. But yeah, man. Good day of fights yesterday, man. Good day of fights. I like the Arreola Ruiz card, but the whole card was actually pretty good. You know, it was definitely a Mexican card, but that's cool. It was a bunch of good fights, you know. Top Rank had the Puerto Rico card, you know, so PBC did win like an all Mexican card. Ain't nothing wrong tailor into a demographic, man. It was still good fights. The main event was good, but so y'all notice like Andy came out with the Christian rapper. He's been real heavy, like talking about his faith and whatnot, and he looked like he lost some killer in him in that fight, man, because he had Arreola hurt a couple times and he ain't jump on him, man. I don't know if he's I don't know, man.
Why can't just be the plan of the trainer to work on things, and that's why they didn't go for the kill.
Man, I don't know, Andy.
Eubank ain't go
Andy's
for the
looking
kill
a little
either.
like how Pacquiao did at one point, where he kind of lost a little killer instinct. He got a little too,
2 years off, man. You over assessing 2 years off.
I don't know.
That
man.
was
He just
a
looked
Christian
little,
rapper?
He looked like he might have softened up a little bit. He might need to get some killer back, while he's in that ring, and he's got to fine tune that a little bit at least, man. I don't know. It just looked a little suspect.
Did you hear them shots, man? That shit ain't look like he took nothing off. Or
Man, but listen, Andy was looking, bro. The 1, 2, 3 was the only combination I think he was throwing 80% of the time. He's got the fast hands and all, but he's got to mix it up a little bit too, man. I don't know. He's been out the ring a while, but a lot of people ain't been out the ring a while, man. I know you said something about that earlier, but we can't talk bad about these fighters that haven't, if they didn't fight in 2020, man, it was a rough year, 2020, man. A lot of shit was shut down. A lot of stuff wasn't moving. A lot of things weren't going on. People couldn't get a fight, man, especially if these guys from other countries, from other places, can't really knock a fighter if they didn't get a fight in 2020, man. It was a rough year. So a lot of people coming off layoffs, man. Things are starting to open back up. So a lot of these guys are going to be coming off layoffs. So we can't be too harsh on them, man, because that's gonna be the story for the majority of fighters, man. 2020 was tough, but other than that, man, look, it was a good card. Felix Verdejo's innocent; he ain't do it, Free Verdejo, man. That's my people. That my great grandma last name is Verdejo. But yeah, man, free my dog. And that's all I got, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yo, I'll tell you. I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I didn't know that Andy came out with the Christian rapper. I didn't know who that was. But they started playing their walkout music. Like he came out to El Rey, and then I can't remember what Andy came out. But that shit got me hyped. First of all, it was like you see the Mexican national anthem being sung at a fight with fight fans. It's just like something that gets you pumped. Like, I don't know what it is, like you just, as soon as it starts, like, Mexicano la grito de guerra, and it's just like, I don't know, you just get pumped. And so that shit was fire. I loved it. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention
that. We got some more callers in the building. Let's go out to Texas.
You see, okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and beat up Danny Garcia.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar bill.
You can take out that green jacket because I just took your bill. It's fly, you can't even set out an arena. The only reason y'all pay per view because you fight me. So you sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere. You will not be fighting on pay per view off of me.
Yo.
What up, Matt?
What's up, TVV? Glad to have y'all here on this beautiful Sunday. I'm here on the road listening. Just want to get my thoughts on beautiful action yesterday. I didn't think they robbed Chisora. I thought Parker took the better half of the second end of the fight. Chisora did get him with a knockdown, but I feel like Parker came back around the sixth round and boxed him beautifully. He even had Chisora hurt, but it seems like they were both just too tired to go for a kill on each other. Chris Eubank looked good. Jay Taylor obviously still looked good. And really,
real good.
I thought Andy won. I thought Andy won, but I did not like. I feel like the judge should have gave Arreola more credit than what they gave him. They pretty much only gave him the round that he got the knockdown in. To me personally, 9-3, 8-4, something like that, but not just the knockdown round for Chris Arreola.
Well, they gave him the knockdown round and the third round. That's like
only one judge gave him the following round. Everybody else the other two judges only gave him the knockdown round. The other two judges said that Andy won the third round.
That's crazy. I definitely gave him the third.
They posted the cards on Twitter, and then only one judge gave him 2 rounds. So, like I said, I really wish they would have given more credit. I think Andy won, but I just really wish Arreola got more credit because he was in there hard. He was timing Andy beautifully, and Andy and Joseph Parker's fight kind of looked similar. They were in some trouble early, but they used what they had in their mental and their skills and got the win. All in all, beautiful days worth of boxing other than the scorecards. It is the right decision, and in my opinion, Omar Figueroa should just walk away because he did not look good at all last night. That's my call.
Yo, internet definitely has no chill. But,
What you mean?
Remember, Verdejo is not guilty yet. He's innocent until proven guilty. But we got a super chat from Mad Bent 100 that says, Charlo KOs Fundora. Andy stops FA. Derek won the fight. And then Andy stops FA. But he could also get stopped, man. That's the thing. Andy's vulnerable. With Arreola putting him down, Andy shows vulnerability. Low Key 07 says Verdejo already has a prison fight set up, and they can't make Fury Joshua or Crawford versus Pac happen? Shaking my head. I can't believe. I told you the internet is undefeated because that just happens. You know what I'm saying? We got Brandon in Cincinnati. What's up?
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jumped up from back with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. From jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pitch and let 9 go. We slap with the thick glass and white go. This only happens in Ohio.
Mario. Nuts, Money Mario, what's good? Can you hear me?
What up?
Perfect.
Yeah, man. Salute to y'all for the show first and foremost. But I thought Derek Chisora edged it myself. I thought he was the busier fighter. I thought he did some great work to the body, landed the bigger punches. Parker he holds too fucking much for me. Punch here, punch there, clinch. He makes them fights boring as hell, man. Yeah, he boxed well. He boxed okay. Trying to stick and move, but I don't think it was effective enough for him to get the win. I thought Chisora pressure was more effective than his boxing, so I edged it to Chisora. Fight of the night, I thought Fundora and Cora, as long as it lasted, it was pretty good. Cora showed some heart. He was landing shots on Fundora. He didn't come to lay down, but Fundora, man, as flawed as he is as a fighter, he's really becoming like a must-see fighter, man. All his fights have been like super exciting. I mean, like I said, he ain't like a flawless guy, but motherfucker, like he put on the show and he's been stopping dudes. So I want to see him continue to grow. I think performance of the night was Abel Ramos. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Figueroa was gonna beat Abel, but Abel starched him, man. I don't know, Figueroa just don't seem like he, when he was at his height, he still had that defense, but he had more output. He don't seem like he got that same output he used to have. Like when he fought Robert Guerrero, he used to let his hands go a lot more than he does now. So sad what happened to that kid, but hey, Brandon Figueroa is still pretty damn good. So yeah, I think Abel got the performance of the night for me. He showed a lot of improvement. And Andy, I thought Andy won like 10-2 or 9-3. I don't think it was that close of a fight. Yeah, Arreola, was game. He flashed in the rounds, but he wasn't doing enough to win the rounds. He was doing enough to be competitive in rounds that he was lost. So I don't think, because if you look at the punch stats, he only landed more punches than Andy, like 2 rounds out of the 12. So I thought Andy looked good, but I ain't never ranked Andy that high. I thought the AJ win was a fluke. I ain't never thought he was that great of a fighter to begin with. So I think Andy is Andy. And I don't think the pay-per-view number's going to be that great either, to be honest. Unless you talking about doing Andy versus Negron next, man. If you was a promoter, bro, your ass would be bankrupt. In a year.
Listen, Brandon, before you go deeper with your shovel, remember that I called Ruiz Arreola as soon as Andy beat AJ. Then he went on to lose to AJ and then take 2 years off. And they giving you what I told you 3 years ago. Fuck out of here, champ. I know what I'm talking about. Negron might be next. Puerto Rican versus Mexican is a rivalry that dates back before you was born. Why wouldn't they cater again? They just told Mario that they pandered to a certain demographic. Why won't they do it again? It all depends on the numbers. Remember that I said that. Let's see what Andy does. Let's see what Andy does. We don't know yet. I want them early Coppinger numbers. Where they at? Where they at?
Early Coppinger numbers.
That's what I want. But
That's
you
funny.
done? I left you there. All right. Peace.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. Go for it.
Oh, no, I just want to speak on the Verdejo situation, man. I hope the man's innocent, but, man, we've seen this story too many times. You know, the side chick come up pregnant. You don't want to keep that baby. So, you know, desperate times call for justice. Shit get crazy, man. So, I mean, I hope he ain't do it. But, man, like I said, this story is all too familiar. It ain't no coincidence. So, it's fucked up. But, you know, being a side chick is a dangerous game, lady. So, know what you in for when you sign up for that shit. But my heart goes out to hearing that unborn child. If he did that shit, fuck Verdejo, and I'm a fan. So that's my call, man.
Yeah, it's
crazy because
unfortunate,
we
man.
just
He's
seen that
already
other
getting
one.
those F Verdejos in the chat. It's like he ain't even guilty yet, for sure.
He ain't guilty yet, but at the same time, it's like, bro, that's a heinous crime that he committed. It's like that dude Watts or whatever. Remember, like, you know, it was innocent until proven guilty, but my man was accused of killing his pregnant wife and 2 kids to be with his side chick. So I was like the opposite of shit. Like, how do you get there with it? Like, I don't know at what point, like, you think, yep, this is the way it's gonna work out. Like, if I do this, it'll turn out okay. Like, that's crazy to me.
To the both of us. Clemente, Phoenix, what up? Actually, hold on, Clemente. Apologies. We gonna come right back to you, but get that mic in order so that we don't miss you here. Looks like we have
BoxingWorks.com.
Oloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo es la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend.
BoxingWorks.com.
Ness, what up, Mario?
What up?
What's happening? Ness, you know what I think? I think that's where we had the misunderstanding earlier. I've been more in line with you on the Ruiz Arreola thing from the beginning. Everybody thought that this was going to be a walkover.
Well, you thought he was gonna upset, so you ain't been in line with me.
No, but I'm talking about as far as the and I've been honest with that. That was a heart pick. I completely acknowledge that from the beginning. And shit, for a little bit there, coming around too, he looked like he was gonna make me a profit. Man, I almost lost my voice. I had put that 100 down on the plus 1200. So we was hype.
Yo, you bet on it? Oh my god,
bro! You gotta understand, Arreola is one of my dear favorites, man. I've followed him for a long time. There's a lot of things, but you know what? He did me proud. I thought 9-3 was a more accurate score. You know, the post fight interview was the typical Arreola interview, which is how to go out. But you hit on something earlier, which is why I was trying to explain to my brother. This is the time for Arreola to walk away because you said it yourself. He did everything we could expect him to do and have ever asked him to do all in one night, and it still wasn't enough. As proud as I was of his performance, you know, he faded late, and that's what it was. You know, there's a lot of, man, if this, you know, a lot of what ifs. He would have left Henry sooner or got with Joe sooner. But I think this is the right time for him to go out. But it was a fantastic fight, man. Shout out to Chris Arreola. Like I said, I think he was just a little too patient. You know, he seemed, I mean, obviously he knows what happened to AJ when you hurt Ruiz and going for the kill. But I think he was a little bit too patient. Had he stepped on the gas and got clipped, stepping on the gas, I think I'd have been cool with that too. But hands down, great event, great pay-per-view card last night. You know, all the way around. I didn't get to really catch too much of the other card. We were busy with the wedding, but we started to sit down for the main event. And yeah, man. Oh man, the Parker Chisora fight, man. I feel like that's one of those either way fights. I don't think it was a robbery. You know, the fight was close enough that I can't be mad at scorecards either way. But yeah, let me get my crow for the Arreola thing. Shout out to my boy for putting on for it one last time. And yeah, man, that's my call. Great show, fellas.
All right.
Yo, let me real quick knock this out because it is the last bullet point. I just wanted to go over the fact that Sonny Edwards did beat Mthalane in a very, very well fought fight. Sonny came out and, you know, I had said that he was going to need to fight a perfect fight for 12 rounds to take this, and he damn near did that. He fought the perfect fight for him to get the win. He did get the unanimous decision. I did have a problem with the scorecards. Like, one judge had it 115-113, which is 7 rounds to 5 in favor of Sonny. And another, and that was John Lewis. And another judge, Bob Williams, had it 120-108 for Sonny, which is all 12 rounds for Sonny Edwards, which that fight was not a shutout. It just was not. That's a problem I had with it. The other problem I had was that, you know, Frank called Sonny the #1 flyweight in the world now, which is, you know, I get it. He's the promoter and hyperbole is something that they're going to use. But the truth is he's not the #1. This win doesn't make him the #1. The truth is, you know, even though, yes, Mthalane's beat Casimero in the past, the truth is he's out of the ring for almost 2 years or over 2 years or whatever it was, 2019. You know, this is a guy coming back after a long layoff, and Sonny went in there and did what, you know, he had to do. The 25-year-old beat the 38-year-old, and now he's positioned himself very nicely with the IBF belt in that division, which, again, as I said on Thursday, is very wide open. You know, other than Julio Cesar Martinez, there isn't a lot of people that can make claim to the top of this division. If Sonny wants to be the #1, he's going to have to fight Martinez.
But Martinez is with Dazn, though.
Yes.
And Sonny's with Frank Warren and BT.
He is, yeah. But they did talk about, you know, the possibility of that fight happening, and it needs to happen. It needs to happen. It doesn't have to happen next or right away, but it does need to happen. If you want to say you're the #1 guy, you got to go through Julio Cesar Martinez. And I'm sorry for everybody. Like, I'm going to give Sonny his credit, but by no means did I think, like, it wasn't like the best performance in the world. Some people were like, it was a masterclass. It was an outclassing. It was a good win, and it was very smart fight. Well fought. Sonny was, you know, constantly moving. You know, he wasn't in there long enough to get hit with anything big, but he definitely, you know, made his presence known, in and out, moving around. I mean, he fought beautifully. There's no question about that. But make no mistake about it. If he fights Julio Cesar Martinez, the lack of power that Sonny Edwards has is going to be exposed, and Martinez will run through him. Sonny Edwards may be the second, maybe the third, maybe the fourth best flyweight in the world, but he sure as hell is not the #1. And he has no chance of beating that guy. Nothing about that fight showed me that he's got a chance. Just the power's not there. But anyway, good win for Sonny. Definitely a big win. Came in as an underdog and upset the apple card. Yeah.
We got some callers to go to here, and it looks like Seattle, Washington.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingWords.com. I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believes he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo, what's up, TBV? Beautiful fights this weekend. Shout out to PBC and shout out to the PBC neighborhood. It's a beautiful day. The whole card was beautiful. Seeing Thomas get knocked out. seeing Laura with the victory, seeing, Spider-Man knock out Coda. It was beautiful, man. I never seen anybody in the phone booth just so tall, 6'6", just tear it up. It made me start to think of like he needs to train with some heavyweights or someone his size, because if he can do that, he can teach a lot of people. The Derek Chisora fight, I think that was a good old robbery, but Chisora's happy with it. They're eating a cheeseburger at the end of the day. So cool with him. It's cool with me.
I seen that.
And another one is what was another one? Oh, Arreola, man. I've been an Arreola fan since the build-up of Deontay Wilder fight. I was kind of upset. In that fight, you have to let it be known he was not letting that right hand go. And for some stupid reason, he always indicates when he's hurt. Like, oh shit, man! Like, if this is getting old, he always lets people know he's hurt. He gets wobbled. It's a major indication. He doesn't have no poker face when it comes to boxing. I wish he won, but I would love to see a rematch or Ortiz. If Andy's so good of a world destroyer, he beat Anthony Joshua. I seen a little. They had a little background of Anthony Joshua's a blue body, and Andy was like, just a Mexican. Like, if you could do that, then shit, do it to Ortiz.
I like the Ortiz fight, man. I like that fight.
Yeah, he was there. I mean, I would love to see that. I mean, if you beat Ortiz, which I don't think he will, I'm gonna have to be real with you. I'll put a lot of money on that one.
Wow.
Because Ortiz, I'm dead serious.
Tripping,
if Arreola.
Yo, Arreola on the first fight back off a 2-year layoff with a new trainer. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on.
And still wobbled Andy.
Yeah, but guess what? Tyson Fury had 3
I
years. First of all, people lied. Tyson ain't even really have a legit 36 months out the ring, but they hype it up to give him 3 years out the ring. He went back and came back with Stefa Safari and some other weird motherfucker. He didn't come back to a world-class fighter like Arreola. You got to understand. Yeah, he got 2 years off. Yeah, Arreola was retiring, but this ain't no Francisco Piñeta or no Stefa Safari. You know what I'm saying? He fought a real dude.
But still, hold on. So you're trying to say you got Andy over Ortiz?
Over Ortiz?
Yeah, that's what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to say,
because I said I'll put major money on Ortiz.
I'm trying to say, your time is up. Cut it, and cut it. Matthew got a counterpunch. What up?
I just want to be real quick I want to give Chris Eubank Jr. more props than what I was really going to give him, because I had followed Eubank Jr. after he fought Billy. And then I remember, and after the Super Series, after he lost to Jordan Rose, the whole world, especially his own countrymen, was chewing this man up and spitting him out, saying he wasn't going to have no skills, he was going to be nothing like his daddy, and they just tossed him into the trash, and now look at him. He's looking real good, and he's improved, especially with Roy in the corner. They need to give that man a title shot. He needs a Charlo or an Andre next. But I would love to see Lara versus Triple G next also. That's my counterpoint.
All right. Yo, it's funny, man. I'm getting laughed at for using world class when talking to Arreola. So what is Chisora? Because if you consistently fighting on pay-per-view, you consistently fighting top 10, how are you not world level? Like, what's going on here, man? Like, what? Like, I don't get it, man. And then if you not world level, why ain't you getting knocked out by world class fighters then? Like, what are we talking about? Like, how do we assess this sport, man? Y'all gotta stop this hatred, man. It's so crazy to me. But it's all good. I love this sport more than you, obviously. We going out to Long Beach.
Long Beach in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We was in the building last night for the fight.
Congrats.
Yeah, great night of fights. Me, Joe, Santiago. We met my man Killer Kells. We met him, so I'm sure he out there, man. Call in. Shout out to him. Um, Sad news about Verdejo. You know what I'm saying? Sad news about the Puerto Rican brother Verdejo.
Crazy.
You know, that just makes me, think to keep an eye on King the Dream and Jay Benitez. You know, they Puerto Rican too, so keep an eye on them. But the fight, man, me being one of the few brothers in the building, I want to send a shout out to my Mexican fight fans. Y'all really know how to host a brother, boy. The fights was better outside the ring than they were in the ring. I'm talking about whole sections throwing hands, just hands. The hyenas was out. The ladies was out in full effect, man. The drinks was flowing, but it was a lot of police. So you couldn't even hardly smoke a cigarette for some kind of staff was running up. But I will go out on a limb and say I've probably been to very few venues, especially outside of California, but none better than what's called the Dignity Health Stadium now. But we still call it the StubHub. That's a great place to take in a fight. My critique of Andy, I don't know. I know that a guy like Arreola coming in motivated, knowing this is his last shot, I know he can be durable. I know that. Against anyone, man. Anybody can land a Sunday punch on him, but he can stay in there against a lot of these dudes. He did well for himself, may have earned himself another fight. Andy, you could say he didn't have that same mustard on the punch. Sometimes, maybe that extra 20 pounds will give him what he needs, because honestly, maybe he shouldn't even be a heavyweight with his body type. So maybe the being a heavier one gives him a little sting on the punch, but that's a con. But a pro, I do think I seen a little Reynoso in there. I seen towards the end of the fight him totally take control, pot shotting to some degree, but also throwing combination punches. Still had the speed and velocity on the punches late into the fight, and was piecing it up. And one thing about him that keep him dangerous versus anyone is that he gonna throw a 3-piece every time. You getting a 3-piece every time. So that's what I like about him. Great night at the fights at the StubHub, man. Great night. That's my call.
JP, man, thanks for calling. And Davidian, Buffalo Falls, what up?
But what's up? It was a good night of fights. I ended up watching some of the fights with my buddies, so it was pretty sweet. I like the Andy Ruiz. Man, Arreola, yo, he hit Andy on top.
Oh, Mario.
He's on that. He's on that dead air. Call him drop call. You all right there, champ?
Davidian.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, we
hear you
lost
now.
you. Restart that. You said.
I'm sorry.
You said it was sweet.
Yeah, it was just it was overall a good fight though. I thought I gave Arreola, like, when he hurt him in like the third round, like maybe 2 or 3, maybe more. I don't know. Other than that, I felt like, Andy kind of took over with slipping punches and all that. So I don't know. Overall, it was a good fight. Katie Taylor. Yeah, that was a good women's fight. They need to give women 3-minute rounds.
It's crazy. Nobody talked about Katie Taylor.
And she fought like a
dog, yo. She fought like a dog, yo. She
did.
Yo,
I love the women.
I felt like Jonas was scared of her, man.
I don't think it was scared.
Like scared of her power, man. I swear, yo. She was like, I don't know.
But it was overall, it was a good. I feel like they did pretty good though. The Arreola card, and then the Derek Chisora and Joseph Parker. I feel like Chisora could have got the nod. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Parker. To me, he kind of boring. He kind of boring to me. He be hugging and singing Kumbaya and stuff. I'm like, bro. I don't know. He all right. Yeah, he got the win, but but other than that, it was a good night of fights and good show, and God bless y'all.
Bless. Counterpunch.
Thank you,
Dom. PBC.
Yo, I guess you got my words mistaken, so let me bring it back. I've been liking Arreola. I do know about his pedigree and the people who he has demolished coming up, and that we're coming up. But I'm just saying, if Arreola can do it and almost have him down, all the way down, then Ortiz definitely can do it.
Yeah,
and to the Chris Eubank, and I want to talk about Chris Eubank and Katie Taylor. Chris Eubank, nah. I'm starting to see why people always mention he's not good with trainers, because Roy Jones, to me, seems like he's doing his absolute best, and he's still, 50-50 about this. Like 50% about listening. In that fight, he was very reckless with such a person with a pedigree of Mark Morrison. I think he should have been more. You separate the class. I would love to see Chris Eubank versus Tony Harrison or.
I hear you, man. Cut it. But someone made a great point earlier that when Eddie took over Valdez's career, Oscar Valdez, we didn't see the changes immediately, but when it mattered, in his biggest fight when he was an underdog, we seen the changes, and he got the knockout. This is the first fight with Reynoso, and it's 2 years off a layoff. And as far as Eubank, I think Roy's happy. With what he's seen yesterday. No one is going to be Roy, and it's going to take a lot of time and repetition, but Eubank has been dedicated to Roy and to Pensacola, Florida for the last 3 years or some change, man, or at least 2 years and some change. So, and it's starting to show. Yeah, he getting hit. No, it ain't perfect, but it's starting to show, and it'll get better. I believe it'll get better. We going out to the BX.
I agree.
Juan, what up?
Yo. What's good?
Yo.
What up?
Yo, Doobie, hit me up. Here we go.
Oh my.
There we go. What's good, peoples?
What up?
Yo, I definitely think my dude Derek Chisora won that fight. Next time, I think he should go in the ring after the judges announce, another robbery and shit. Go outside the ring, take the same chair one of the judges is sitting on, and just lace him on the back with it and tell him that Eddie Hearn said it was WWE after it's over. That's all I got to say about his ass. But yeah, man. Arreola did pretty fucking good too. I thought that was gonna be a whitewash, and yeah, was nowhere near that. I mean, he definitely didn't win the fight, but he definitely did great.
Yep.
And then y'all said it, Chris Eubank Jr., bro, he could have knocked his ass out at the second round if he wanted to. Yep. He let that shit go on purposely.
I'm glad.
Yeah, basically,
I'm glad you seen that, man. A lot of people ain't noticed that. I'm glad you seen that.
Nah, really? Oh shit. Yeah, no, that was obvious, bro. He could have laced his ass up when he had him really hurt, but he let go, and he had maximum energy at that point. That was just the second round, so he could have. If he wanted to throw that 100-punch combination that he does on the heavy bag, it would have been a wrap for homeboy because he was breaking him up. But yeah, man. Y'all have a good night, and I appreciate the y'all doing the show. Be safe, Mario. Be safe, Ness.
Thank you,
Thanks,
brother.
Juan.
We got a few callers on Blog Talk. Remember, gentlemen, if you do not press 1, we cannot go to you. We will assume you are just listening. That being said, don't forget, Mario's going to be facing Show Kid June 12th, Watertown, Wisconsin, and we will be in Wisconsin in a few days. May 8th, we're going to be there for a Canelo live kind of thing we're doing there. They're gonna be having the fight. We're gonna see how the environment is. We'll be going live from there. So Saturday, when Canelo's fighting Billy Joe, we'll be in Wisconsin from the bar, up close and personal, checking it out. Back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., fresh and early to get you through your Monday morning commute. And the Monday morning post out, I mean, the Untitled post is out since a lot, like, I don't know, 6 in the morning today. So hopefully you guys dropped your questions for tomorrow. 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, we'll be doing Untitled live on right here at YouTube memberships. Catch us on the next one. That's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget you can hit that thumbs up button, future, present, past. And subscribe to the YouTube channel and help us get to 120,000. We're looking for subscribers. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Let's go. Mario.
Yo, at Mario Munguia on Twitter, at Mario Munguia on Instagram. Peace.
Peace.